Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for the Tech Guy is provided by CacheFly. CacheFly.com. Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Radio Networks on Sunday, December 8th, 2013. This is episode 1038. Enjoy. The Tech Guy podcast is brought to you by iFixit. You can fix it, and iFixit makes it easy. With step-by-step repair guides, high-quality replacement parts, and all the tools you need. For $10 off your purchase of $50 or more, go to ifixit.com/twit and enter the offer code TechGuy at checkout. And by Stamps.com. Start using your time more effectively with Stamps.com. Use Stamps.com to buy and print real U.S. postage the instant you need it right from your desk. For our special offer, go to Stamps.com, click the microphone, and enter Tech Guy. Hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the Tech Guy, now with more cowbell. This is the show. Wait, I'm sorry, I won't cowbell you to death here. This is the show where we talk about computers and the internet and home theater, smartphones, the computer in your pocket, and all that jazz. 8888 Ask Leo is the number. 888-827-5536. That's toll free from anywhere in the U.S. and Canada. You can also call via Skype from anywhere in the world, and we love those calls from all around the world. If you're in Philly right now, shelter in place. Holy cow. I was watching, I shouldn't say this because everybody's going to run to the TV. I was watching the Eagles game, and it looks like a blizzard there. Could we do, Heather Hammond, Phone Ranger, could we do this show like the NFL does, regardless of weather conditions? If it were snowing and there were 6 inches of snow, could we do this show?
What?
No.
Look at me. I almost didn't come in today. Oh, it's so cold.
It's 48 degrees in Northern California. We're dying. Yeah, I admit it. The football players are he-men. They're tough. They are tough. You know, Heather, because I'm getting old, I forget if I talked about this last week or not. You tell me, because I think you were here last week. I don't remember. Did I talk about the amount of computing power in the world versus the amount of computing power in an iPhone 5? Did I talk about that yet?
I don't think so, but I might have been on the phone with somebody.
See, she's not paying attention either. So it's a very interesting story I read. A guy said, you know, we have very powerful technology in our pocket these days, don't we? And he thought about, well, what is the total compute power of a smartphone in your pocket versus the total compute power not of a single computer in the 60s, but of the entire world? Did I talk about this?
You may have.
No, shoot.
It's still fascinating.
It's a great story.
Yeah, new audience.
No, they're the same people. I'm sorry.
Every time.
I don't want to be, you know how you get a little older, you start telling the same story over and over. That's me right now. Anyway, very cool stuff. It turns out, I do remember this now because I was thinking about you. It turns out somewhere between the invention of the miniskirt and before the airing of Laugh-In, that is somewhere between 1964 and 1968, the world computing power finally caught up with one iPhone 5.
Oh, my goodness. But see, we love this story,
I think this is amazing. They landed the Apollo lunar module with a computer that is less than the computer your 4-year-old has in her, my first, Sony.
I do love this story. Will you please tell it again next weekend?
Yeah, every week I'm going to tell it. And then there was the iPhone, boys and girls. But it's so important. And the reason I bring it up is so important because we have in our pockets something that we take for granted. We think of, it's a phone and I got a little browser and I can do email and texting. This is a very powerful computer. This is an amazingly sophisticated device. And furthermore, even if a supercomputer like a Cray in the 70s had roughly the same performance as an iPhone, it didn't have an always-on internet connection. It didn't have the ability to find out any fact. The Wikipedia didn't exist. IMDb didn't exist. All of this stuff is a massive change in 20 years, 30 years, in our lifetimes anyway. the amount of compute power and the amount of information that is in our pocket is mind-boggling. It really is mind-boggling. And so when I say we talk about computers and the internet, I might as well also say that computer could be your smartphone, and your always-on connection via the smartphone. It's truly a mind-boggling what we have. And I think it's so easy. You know, Louis C.K. does that great bit where everything's amazing and nobody's impressed, you know. Really, we live in a world of miracles around us all the time.
The person on the airplane who's like, oh, I can't believe this.
Yeah.
We lost the Wi-Fi. It's like...
You're flying.
But most of the time you get it.
You're 6 miles in the air flying 700 miles an hour. And you're worried. Yeah, the internet's a little slow up here. What? What? Now, and meanwhile, there's the federal government. I love this story in the New York Times today. The Federal Register, which is a daily publication, a print publication from the U.S. government that tells federal agencies everything they need to know about new regulations, executive orders, proclamations. They all have to be, by law, they have to be published. So the Federal Register publishes them. And, of course, they gather that stuff from all the different federal agencies. And what's stunning is that in at least several cases, these agencies send the data to the Federal Register on 3.5-inch floppy disks. A lot of it on CD-ROMs, a little bit of it via email, a lot of it, apparently, now the Federal Register won't say which agencies are still using floppies, but that tells you something. I mean, that's amazing. They're still back in the age of the miniskirt. They're using floppy. If you buy a computer today, it doesn't have a floppy disk anymore, does it? I don't even know how they read or write these things. They must be using really old computers. A spokesman, according to the New York Times, a spokesman for the Federal Registry would not say which agencies still used floppy disks, but at the Register's office, couriers were recently seen coming in and out as an employee pulled a floppy disk from one package and 2 CD-ROMs from the others. I wonder if they get any 5.25-inch floppies or 8-inch floppies. I'll never forget coming to work at a radio station in San Francisco in 1987. Yeah, it was 87. I won't say the name. And I was asked to be the music director, which means a person who helped to select the music and so forth at this radio station. And I said, "Great, where's your computer?" And they pointed me to a PDP-8 and a program that was running off of big 8-inch floppy disks. And you'd enter this stuff in, and you'd press save, and it would go chunk. It'd be a loud chunk. Chunk. Remember that? Only a few of you are old enough. As it wrote the data, painstaking. This is, I mean, even in 1987, this was primitive. I don't know what happened, but somehow that computer broke a few weeks into my tenure, and they had to actually buy a PC. 1987. So, you wonder why healthcare.gov doesn't work. People still using floppies in the federal government. The floppies predate the internet, I believe. Pretty amazing. And yet there's some sophistication. Another article in the Washington Post yesterday about how the FBI tracked down a terrorist who called himself Mo, M-O. Mo would mail pictures to federal investigators in an Iranian military uniform. He made a series of threats. The feds weren't sure where he was. They didn't know if he was in the U.S. or Iran. But as soon as they were able to figure out that he did, in fact, seem to be coming out of Tehran, Iran, they used malware, what's called a spear phishing attack, to get viruses on his system. They actually were able to send him an email, which he opened. See, don't open attachments. There's your rule right there. Or clicked a link in an email, perhaps. Don't do that either. They were able to get malware on a system. The feds don't like to talk about this because they don't want really people to know that they have this capability. So they sent surveillance software to his Yahoo email address. As soon as Mo signed into his account, the software started sending back information to Quantico from his computer. It's fascinating. So there are some sophisticated people in there. 8888 Ask Leo. Let's talk. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's the ba-ba-da-doo. Yeah, Brain. I remember Brain. But that was not the first worm. The Morris worm dates back even farther. Yeah, Dr. Mom, I did. And they highlighted some of our favorite restaurants. They left a couple out, but they highlighted the one next door, the Social Club. Yeah, that was really a neat article. The New York Times says Petaluma has become a dining destination.
What?
Oh, yeah. It was in the Sunday Times last week. The print edition.
Not the New York Times.
New York, yeah. The Petaluma Times. Yes, the New York Times. The Petaluma.
I have yet to find a really good meal around here.
Oh, honey, I got to take you out. So next door, the Social Club is very good.
I haven't eaten there, and I mean to because it's adorable.
They mention Slow Club, which has been closed because of a fire, but is about to reopen. That's all. I would consider, maybe many do, that's our best. Although Social Club is awfully good. They also mention the little one. What's it called? The little after-hours club down here in Putnam Plaza that just opened about a year ago. It's a really good little place.
Did have an amazing sandwich with Kim at, I think, Speakeasy.
Speakeasy, that's the name of it. They mentioned Speakeasy.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, oh my God.
Isn't that good?
It was like a croque monsieur.
Yeah.
With the,
they have great croque monsieurs there.
With the, what do I want to say? Bechamel sauce on it. Bechamel?
Bechamel, yeah.
Oh my God, just a big load of fat. It was so
Nothing
good.
like cheese and bechamel. I taught my daughter to make a bechamel the other day.
Really? Now that's
easy.
thinking.
Everybody needs to know how to make a good white sauce. It's easy. And it's the foundation for everything, right?
It is.
New draws for diner in a Sonoma County town. Look at that. That's our down. That's about a block and a half, 2 blocks from us.
Nice.
This is Washington and the Boulevard. That's right here on the left. That's Central Market. That's awfully good. They mentioned Cowgirl Creamery, Lagunitas Brewery, Liberty Ducks. All wonderful. There's Speakeasy. See?
I haven't had a Liberty Duck.
Oh, the best. In fact, if you have duck in San Francisco, it's a Liberty Duck. The Liberty Duck Farms are the gourmet duck farms. They're up here.
Oh, so it's a farm. Is there a restaurant, though, here associated?
No, I wish there were. But many of the restaurants serve Liberty, of course.
And we don't know if Central Market's going to reopen yet, right?
It is.
Oh, good.
In fact,
because that's what I heard was
they
the
did a
best
soft
food.
reopening. Yes, very good. Here's the Social Club. Rosso, that's the other one they mentioned, which is fabulous.
Oh, okay.
And Central Market. They left a few of our favorites out, but that's okay. De la
I went to
Fattoria.
Mi Pueblo once, and it wasn't very good.
Mi Pueblo? No. I mean, that's good. It's good. It's Mexican. It's not. I mean, there's better Mexican in San Francisco. But that's not. Don't judge us by that.
Oh, no.
Don't judge me.
I mean, you know what it is as soon as you walk in. You're like, oh, okay, that's what this is. It's
a Mexican restaurant.
little
And
margaritas.
Pliny the Younger, very, very good. That's right. We have good beer, very good wine. Mi Pueblo's good. I like Mi Pueblo, but you remember she's coming from a town that has Mission Taco and Mama's Cooking and
foie gras. Oh, not anymore.
No. I'm taking Lisa before the Book of Mormon. We're going to go to Fleur de Lis, which is her favorite French restaurant. Yeah.
Oh my God,
it's really good.
Haven't been there in years.
Oh, it's good. Hubert Keller. It's not changed. Is it Keller? No. That's French Laundry. Anyway.
That's Thomas Keller.
Thomas Keller. Hubert. Who's Hubert?
Hubert?
Hubert Keller. I don't know. Well, I had to make it up to her because we were going to go to Le Web tomorrow in Paris. And I just said, we just got back. I can't take another break.
Have you been to Epic and Water Bar?
No. I also want to go to the chicken reservation or whatever it's called. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I do.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy. That music. Yeah, lay back, tech guy show. 8888 Ask Leo is the phone number. 888-827-5536. We also have a great webpage, techguylabs.com. And the most important part of it is that while you're listening to the show, or if you're driving or doing something, don't take your hands off the wheel to write down a note or anything. Everything I say is on the website, techguylabs.com. Heather Hammond is our call screener, our phone ranger, as we say. Heather, who should I start with today? Oh, wait a minute.
Did I turn myself off?
Yes, there you go.
Whoops.
Turn yourself on, baby, and tell me who the first caller of the,
we
day
just
is.
talked a little bit about Europe, so let's do Nick in Anaheim because he's going there.
All right. Hey, Nick, Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Leo, I need your guidance.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to be heading to Paris, and I've got a T-Mobile cell phone, not a smartphone, just a cell phone. Is that going to do me any good over there?
Yeah. So I would contact T-Mobile and ask about buying a low-cost phone package for international.
Okay.
And data you don't do because it's not a smartphone, so you don't have to worry about that, right?
Now, my data, I do have a laptop. Any issues about taking that over there? And
no, just stick with Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you stick with Wi-Fi, it'll be whatever the hotel or the area. There's Wi-Fi everywhere, cafes everywhere, free Wi-Fi all over.
Okay, so the security issues over there with my laptop.
Oh, security. Oh, I didn't know you were worried about security. I thought you were talking about money. Yeah, some security issues, but anytime you use an open access point, there's security issues. It's no worse in Paris than it is here.
Okay.
The issue is you should probably not do anything unencrypted that you don't want people to see.
Meaning checking in with banks and things like that?
No, that's encrypted.
Oh, that is encrypted. Okay.
Yeah, anytime it's HTTPS for secure, you're fine. The biggest risk on using a public Wi-Fi, and I'm going to mute you for a second because I'm getting a lot of echo back. I'm not sure why, but the real risk about using a public Wi-Fi is that it's public. You're broadcasting, so anybody who can see the wireless network or join the wireless network can see what you're doing. And it's a very simple thing. You don't have to be a super sophisticated hacker or anything. You just run a program, and they're free programs, and you can see all the data that's going over this network. Now, if you're talking to your bank, that data is scrambled. But the real risk is something like your email. Now, most email providers, Google, I think Yahoo, Facebook, they scramble it. It's HTTPS. So be very careful. Make sure that you are on a secure link, not just when you're reading the email, but more importantly, even when you're logging in. And most of us have email programs on our computers that log in automatically every 15 minutes, get the mail and log out. Make sure that the email provider you're using is secure, because otherwise you're sending your login and your password over this public network. Now, the worst case scenario, in my opinion, is a bad guy sits there, gets your password to your email account, and then just closes the laptop and wanders off. Now, for the rest, until you change that password, and how often do we change our email passwords, really? Until you change that password, that bad guy now has access to your email, which means he could snoop. Or, more likely, what he'll do is he'll commandeer other accounts. He'll go to Twitter and say, I forgot my password, send it to me. And, of course, he's got access to your email. That password comes in. He can commandeer that. Or anything else, and up to including your bank. So it is a good idea if you're on an open access point, either to not do those things that are unencrypted, or make sure, and email's the number one, mostly because people running email programs on their laptop forget that they're logging in even on this open access spot. If you close your email program, you're fine. Or you check with your provider, better yet, and get a provider that has encrypted email, you're fine. I don't think I mean, if you don't go to websites you don't want somebody to know you're going to. But for the most part, you're safe. It's just that understand you're broadcasting. Wi-Fi is radio, so you're broadcasting. Same thing when you, even if you're wired in a hotel network, same thing. Sometimes people who want to do more and be safe will use something called a VPN, a virtual private network. And what that does, you might use one with work. If your work has a VPN set up, you can log into your servers at work securely, and it'll be as if you're at work. And that's a great convenience. It's also secure because all the stuff going back and forth to your work servers is going back and forth, in effect, inside a secure tunnel. It's encrypted, and no hacker can look inside and see what's going on. You can do that with yourself, either running your own VPN server. That's non-trivial. It's a kind of, I don't even do that because it's a lot of work. Or there are a lot of companies out there that will offer for a monthly fee a VPN service. Then what happens is you go to the open access spot, and instead of just going out on the internet, you log into the VPN server, and all your traffic is encrypted from you to the VPN server. It does then go out on the public internet. It has to. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it. But it's safe up to the point of the VPN server, which means there's no attack locally nearby. And if you just search for VPN providers, there's a lot of them. One of our sponsors does a very good job. ProXPN.com. Certainly can recommend them, but there's others. Hotspot VPN is good. There's quite a few. And so that's if you want to be really bulletproof. To be honest, most of the time that's too much trouble. I don't bother. I just am careful about what I do, and I only do stuff I don't care if somebody sees I'm doing it. So have a nice trip. I'm jealous. Even now in the winter, Paris is lovely. I have a lot of friends in Paris this week for the Le Web conference, which I've gone to in the past and was very tempted to go to this year, but I got to work. I can't be gallivanting about the globe all the time. Myra, Anaheim, California, you're next. Hi, Myra. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, I'm a high school computer science teacher.
Oh, that's great.
And I'm trying to get ready for Computer Science Education Week and Hour of Code that's happening this week.
I'm excited about this Hour of Code. Tell us about that.
Oh, well, it's something that's put on by code.org. They have a lot of tutorials on their website for people just to go there and try it out. But I'm going to run an evening event where I have the feeder junior high students come to my campus, and I'm going to have my computer science students help them through some of the tutorials to introduce them.
Oh, isn't that great? What language do you teach in Hour of Code?
Well, we're going to have a variety. I'm going to use Scratch and Alice and whatever else I can find. Maybe processing if I can get some tutorials together.
That's awesome. Oh, this is, yay, Myra. I'm golf clap for you. That's so great. And Alice is a great way to teach kids because it's fun. It's game-like. Developed at Carnegie Mellon, and it's free. And it's really great to get them excited about this. What a nice idea.
Yes, and I used it in my classes, too.
Do you? Oh, that's so great. So many times I hear about teachers trying to teach kids Java.
Well, I teach Java, too, but I introduce them to Java through Alice. So they learn the basics, and then we move to Java.
Better. Because, yeah, admittedly, they'll probably be using Java professionally, but that's not the best way to learn how to program.
No.
So what can I do to help you? Because I think this is great.
I'm a PC person, and my school has a very old announcement system, and I'm trying to get an audio announcement out to the whole entire school.
Okay, hold on a second, and I will come back and help you. We got to take a break. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. That's it.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology to communicate, to bank, and none of us know how to read and write code.
The first program I wrote asked things like, what's your favorite color? Or how old are you?
I wrote a program to play tic-tac-toe.
I first learned how to make a green circle and a red square appear on the screen.
You're just trying to make something, trying to transfer something from your mind to the computer or to a tablet. It's an experience.
The whole limit in the system is just that there just aren't enough people who are trained and have these skills today.
The programmers of tomorrow are the wizards of the future. You know, you're going to look like you have magic powers compared to everybody else.
Great coders are today's rock stars. That's it.
I love it. I'm getting tears in my eyes. And what a great way to do it. Just an hour. Just an hour of code. Just so cool. Just so cool. And we're trying to do that. As you know, we've got a new show, Coding 101. Same idea. I think programming is a great hobby and really fun, and I love it. And I wish I were a better programmer, but I love doing it. And I collect languages, and I just love it. And so, but I think it's so important that at the very least, if you do that, you have an understanding of how computers work, how technology works, and you need that. It'll make you a better user, just like, learning a language makes you better at English. It'll make you a better technology user, and it's so important. So important. And fun. Not every kid's going to get into it, but I think every kid should be exposed to it. Just really neat. Really, really neat. So I'm thrilled that Myra's doing that. And to start in junior high is fabulous. Fabulous. My first language was BASIC, too. I think for most people of my vintage, it was BASIC, if not Fortran or COBOL. But I wasn't, I wasn't trained. I didn't learn in college. I learned on my own. It was BASIC in 1978, probably, on an Atari. But I quickly moved on to better languages. I still have somewhere. I'll show you what I show you what I learned from. This is one of the best, simplest books about programming ever written, and it's just fabulous. And this is my original one. You can see it's yellowed a little bit. The C Programming Language by Koenig and Ritchie, 1982. No, let's not put some phone numbers. It's probably really not a good phone number anymore. It's so yellowed. God, greatest book ever. A classic. And look how thin it is. That's all. C is a beautiful, elegant language. That's all you need. Beautiful. I wrote a lot of Pascal because in the early days that Mac was Pascal. My first assembly language, which I learned right after C, was 68,000 for the Mac. So cool, huh? C++ still eludes me a little bit. I like C. I'm now a big fan of scripting languages. Perl, Python, Ruby. Those are my favorites. C is a beautiful, elegant language. No, it is, Tino. C++, not so much. We're talking to Myra. She's in Anaheim. She teaches programming, computer science to middle schoolers. I love that. She's doing the Hour of Code. We watched the little video on csedweek.org about the Hour of Code, featuring Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Will.i.am. I mean, really, really neat video. I think very inspiring. And I do believe learning code, whether you're going to do it professionally or ever even do it again, is so great. It makes you a better user of technology. You understand it better. So I totally support you, Myra. So you want to put announcements out over the school PA system?
Well, there is. I'm on the board of the Computer Science Teachers Association, and I urge them to make an audio announcement for CS Ed Week, which they did, because my school doesn't have video announcements, and I think there's a lot of schools that don't. So what I'm trying to do, and because it's so old and antiquated, they have to put the speaker up to the microphone. Yes. So I'm trying to get the MP3 file from the internet onto my iPad, which I'm going to hook a speaker to so they can hold the speaker to the microphone. And I don't.
Simple enough.
For some reason.
Simple enough. So you have the MP3 file already, the audio file.
Not downloaded, but it's on the web.
Okay. You get the file, put it on your computer, open it in iTunes.
Okay.
And in fact, if you have iTunes installed, either on a Mac,
I have it on my PC, so I guess I'm going to have to do this through my PC then.
Well, you never hooked up your iPad to the PC before?
It's the school's iPad, no.
Got it. So the other thing you could do is, I bet you that iPad has been hooked up to a computer at the school. It's associated with a computer from somewhere.
Yeah.
Actually, if it's an MP3 and you have the address of the MP3, you can simply enter that address into a Safari on the iPad, and,
okay.
it will play.
Well, except that we don't have wireless at my school. Great idea.
So those iPads don't go online?
Well, at home they do, but I have one iPad for myself. That's it. We don't have. We have nothing.
Nothing. We have nothing. I know it's a shame, and that's why, Myra, I applaud you so heartily, because I know it's an uphill battle. But you're doing something that's really important. Now, I mean, I think reading and writing and arithmetic are important too. I'm not saying in lieu of that, but boy, it is a form of literacy now to understand how technology works. And very important. And I know you don't probably get a lot of support. So can you bring that iPad home?
Yeah, it's home. So I'm going to, I'll have to, I was trying to figure out a way not to connect it to my PC, but I guess I'll go ahead.
No, you don't have to. You have Wi-Fi at home?
Yes, I do.
Well, you open Safari on the iPad.
Okay.
And enter that address in, and the MP3 will play. And then you can save it and play it again later.
Okay, so I was trying to figure out how to save it, because I got it up and running on the iPad, but I can't seem to get it saved onto the iPad.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a little challenging. You could email it to the iPad and then open that email.
Okay.
You can, I'm not sure what happens if you have an MP3. Do you get on Safari that little box with the right turn arrow that's like save as? Because if you do, and then you have an appropriate program for playing it back, you should be able to save that MP3 to that app. Or you could just keep that tab open in Safari.
Even though I'm offline?
Yeah, I think once you've got it, you've got it. But on the iPad, I'll have to try this. When you go to an MP3.
And I think computer science is cool.
Oh, you've got I hear it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I got it going, but...
So look on that Safari page. Do you see the Save As button? There's a little... you'll have to get the menu bar. They hide the menu bar now.
Oh, that's probably why.
Yeah, it's hidden. And you should be able to save it out to Dropbox would be a good choice. In fact, if you have Dropbox...
I have Dropbox, yes.
Okay, well, then another way you could do it is put it in your Dropbox and then share that out.
Okay, that's fine. I can do that. Okay.
Lots of ways. Understand the way that Apple never thought of the iPad as like a computer with a file system. It really wanted to hide that complexity from users. So, of course, it's a computer with a file system. You know that, and I know that. But if you expect it to behave like a computer with a file system, there's a disconnect there, because Apple doesn't want, they want to hide that.
I gathered that.
Yeah, they don't want people to know about that. So you could do it with, you could certainly do it with iTunes, but if it's never been, you don't want to mess up an iPad, because once it's connected to one computer, which I'm sure it is at school, you don't want to attach it now to a different computer.
Okay, great. Well, that answered that question. I know not to connect it to my home computer.
It'd be best not to. If you could try it and copy it over, but if it says at some point, oh, would you like me to associate this iPad with that iTunes? Don't do it, because it'll erase the contents of the iPad. And then the IT guy is going to get mad at you and say, Myra never gets to take home an iPad again.
Probably. One other thing is that our group is trying to get computer science count for a an entrance requirement for CSUs and UCs as a math or science credit, because right now it's counting only for electives, and I think that's one of our problems of trying to recruit kids into computer science.
Yeah.
So we have a petition up.
Good.
Trying to get that done.
Good. Where is it?
It's at, I have the short URL. It's chn.ge/1B, V as in victory, FQ, capital P, X.
We'll put that in the show notes so that people can go there.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's at change.org. Make computer science count for college admission in California.
Exactly.
And Will.i.am is right on the top of the page there. I don't know if he's a coder, but boy, he's a great way to get kids excited about this. Of course, the one of the guys behind the smart-eyed peas, the black-eyed peas. He's a smart-eyed guy, though. Hey, thank you, Myra. Good work.
You.
I really appreciate you doing that. We'll put a link to this change.org petition in our show notes, so everybody can go sign it. Thank you.
Okay, great.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I believe in this. In fact, of course, what a surprise. I am the tech guy. It was learning how to write programs, and I started fairly old because I'm an old man. When I was in college, I didn't take computer science because in the 70s, the early 70s when I was in college, mid-70s, computer science meant going to the computer science building and the big computer in the basement with a stack of punch cards, and that did not intrigue me at all. But right about that time, personal computing started happening, and you could get a computer on your desk. I remember my good friend who ran the radio station on campus with me, Eric Schwartz, was building a computer. We thought, what a nerd. What a geek. He was probably building one of those kit computers like the Altair. I think it was, in fact, an Altair. And it wasn't very much longer after that. I was out of college, but in the late 70s that I got my first personal computer. And boy, did that excite me. Because now I did immediately start writing programs. First in BASIC, later in C, assembly language. I fell in love with it. It was so much fun. Never did it for a living. I did it as, you know, to help out at the radio station. I'd write little programs for them, and I did it for fun. And that's kind of the point. It's fun. It's a great hobby. Not everybody's going to love it. I realize that saying like, you know, there's nothing more fun than inverting matrices in mathematics. I love the quadratic equation. Integral calculus makes me happy. It's not like that. It's easier than that. It's fun. And if you can learn a little bit of it, it will help you understand technology. Because once you understand how dumb the computer is, it's not quite so intimidating. It's just a box of rocks that can do math really fast. It makes it look like it's thinking. It ain't thinking. Dan, San Francisco. Hold on a second. Oh, I hear the magic sounder. You're next, though. Don't go anywhere. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. There's nothing I'd rather do than parse a quadratic equation.
Having to explain for 20 years why college algebra was an admission requirement.
Right. Kids say, I'm never going to use algebra.
It's hard for me to say, okay, you're a whiz with computer. Let's replace the college algebra.
No. Is that what that says? Replace algebra with computer science? No, you need both. I guess it's a zero-sum game, right? You can't replace one with the other. I mean, you can't just say, let's have them all.
Yeah, I didn't read it carefully, but...
We are seeking to count computer science as a core subject requirement. Mathematics C or Science D for admission to UC and CSU rather than as an elective G. Yeah, I don't know if it should be a requirement because I don't think all kids should have to study.
No, there's a selection. It's not a requirement.
Oh, okay. So it says high school graduation requirements would not change, but would simply allow computer science courses to satisfy existing core college admissions requirements.
Okay, so this is for high school students.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking for transferring from junior.
No. It's if you want to apply to California State University or the University of California.
Much bigger set of requirements than just
Right. Oh, it is. And my kids actually, I think, probably didn't qualify. So, yeah, no. So I think this is not unreasonable, that it should be more than an elective.
I take it back. I was thinking
if you take this, it should count, right?
Well, clearly it's going to be part of a math curriculum.
Right.
Yeah, so
it makes no sense to learn computer programming without learning algebra. You can't.
Yeah, it's not replacing.
No. I would hope not. I should have asked her that. Doesn't look like it.
No. If it's for high schools, that's a huge.
Yeah. The problem is it's a real challenge for high schools because they don't have teachers that can do it. Even at Sonoma Academy, where we have really good teachers, we had to take a math teacher, and he's teaching Java. I said, well, here's Head First Java. This is a really good text. They used it as a text, and I think he knew probably as much as I did, but that's probably enough to teach basic programming.
I think you were talking yesterday, or maybe it was on triangulation. No, it was this transition period we're in.
Yeah.
At some point, all the teachers,
everybody will have, right. And the way you get that is that you start having it be a requirement for, and it certainly should be a requirement for a teaching credential in math or science. Yeah. They have engineering classes at Sonoma Academy, which is nice. I mean, they're moving in that direction.
Time to think about lunch?
Yes. I think I'm catching a cold.
I have nothing to give you.
Oh, I should. I'm sorry. Greg's not here. Greg's not here to wait on me.
He's got nothing better to do than to write down what's on the.
Yeah. What do you think I am? He says, an intern? Got nothing better to do. This is yesterday's, alas. If they still have Italian wedding, I wouldn't mind a large one of those. Or, you know, we can make it easy. Just give me a turkey sandwich.
Okay. You really like the packaged ones instead of having one made fresh?
Yeah, they're smaller. If you make them fresh, they're big subs.
There's more lettuce.
Okay. So that's your number one turkey?
Yeah, just give it's easy for you. You can just pull it off the shelf and... Yeah, if they have Italian wedding, I guess that'd be good too. Soup's always good.
So I'm thinking I'm going to put the plasma in the kitchen, opposite the wall that the current TV is on.
Okay.
On a stand.
I like that rolling stand. Yeah.
Yeah, but it...
What about in the lobby? Can we put one out there?
The TV that's on up high.
Oh, take that and put that there. Good.
Because that I can hang on the wall.
Because it's light. Yeah, the plasma's too heavy. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Except, I don't want to ship it from IKEA. It like doubles the price to ship it.
Yeah. We just have to send somebody to Emeryville.
We have to go to IKEA.
Yeah.
Ship your pants.
Yeah, shipping's ridiculous. You can just go pick it up. They really want you to pick it up. That way you can get some Swedish meatballs.
Ah.
Yeah. A little bit of, what is that, gooseberry that they like in Sweden? Loganberry? Lingen. Something like that, yeah. She blinded me with science. Computer science, that is. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number. 888-827-5536. I had picked up Dan in San Francisco, and then I rudely put him back on hold. Dan, I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, no problem, Leo. Thanks for taking my call. I'm looking for a phone for my mom, and I was thinking about the Moto G, and I know you love the Moto X. I'm a little bit more budget constrained. Wondering if you have any thoughts on that.
Love it. It's a great choice.
Great.
So this is $179 out the door, unsubsidized. So in fact, Ars Technica just did a review of it in which they said this is the best cheap phone. You know, when you get to these inexpensive phones, smartphones anyway, and part of the problem is that the cost of the phone is hidden by the subsidy. So, you know, you can get any phone for free as long as you're willing to sign up for 2 years for AT&T or 2 years for Verizon or whatever. And that hides the actual cost, which is usually $500, $600. For an iPhone, it's like $600. So if you want to pay for it outright, the choices are limited under $400. But the Moto G, which is essentially the same as the Moto X, it's a little bit bigger, the screen's a little bit smaller, not much difference, is an excellent choice, I think. I think it's one of the best Android phones out there. It's the one I carry day to day.
That's great. And to get your blessing means a lot for me.
Yeah, I just read a review today, I think, on Ars Technica. It said Google's $179 Moto G puts every single cheap Android phone to shame.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that good. I think, and I agree with Andrew Cunningham, the guy who wrote the article. It's in fact, I should talk about it more. You can get it on Republic Wireless, even cheaper, I think. I mean, these guys. There's a lot of ways to get it. These guys are really, really nice. Tesco Mobile, $89. Do you know what carrier you want to get her on?
We're on T-Mobile right now, and we're locked into a pretty nice month-to-month thing, so I don't want to change anything there.
Makes it very simple. Then you buy the Moto G unlocked, and then you just take it to T-Mobile. They put a SIM in it, and nothing changes.
Great. And then what about the camera? I've read that the camera's so-so, but my mom, she likes to take pictures. She doesn't really have that keen of an eye, so is that something that I should worry about, or is it fine?
Well, you know, I use the Moto X camera, and yes, they're better cameras. The Nexus 5 camera is much better. The iPhone camera is much, much better. But you're right. If she's not like the contrast a little low, the color saturation a little low, but it's still a good camera. It's a better camera than most digital cameras were 5 years ago. So,
all right,
not the end of the world. If you really want to do camera phonography, seriously, it might not be a great choice, but. It's pretty.
Well, she's the only one that looks at her pictures, so I think
she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I've never, she won't complain.
All right. Well, thanks very much.
You're
Leo.
welcome. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I love photography, and I take pictures of the Moto X all the time. It can be disappointing sometimes. You take a picture that, especially in low light, that would be better on an iPhone. But yeah, that's life. Moto X is going to be very inexpensive. That's the big brother of the Moto G. Apparently, on Monday, on some places, Moto Maker and so forth. So you might want to. I don't think the Moto X is so much better than the Moto G that it'd be worth paying a lot more for it, though. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate it. Yeah, these are I think overlooked phones because spec-wise, the Moto X doesn't have everything that, say, a Galaxy S4 does, or an HTC One, the Galaxy Note 3, the Nexus 5, the iPhone 5S. Those are the kind of high-end, super sweet, high-spec phones. But in other ways, it's very appealing. In the hand, it's very appealing. It's a very clean Android interface. Motorola, because they're owned by Google, didn't really junk it up. There's some actually additional features Motorola did put in that I think make it a good Android phone choice. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the phone number if you have a question, a comment, a suggestion. Nathan, do I want to do an ad here? Okay. I'm free. Well, I'm not free. I'm cheap, though. I'm cheap. Let's move on to Naomi, Denver, Colorado. Is it snowing in Denver?
It's really cold here. It's 6 degrees. We went on a hayride Friday night, and it was 3 below.
I hope you had big, scratchy wool blankets all over you.
Oh, my husband plays Santa. It was...
Oh, how cute. Are you Mrs. Claus?
Oh, you have to be when he looks like Santa.
Oh. Do you have a little, little velvet nightcap on? And...
Yeah, it was pretty cold, though. It was.
Mrs. Claus is going, hurry up, Santa, I'm freezing.
You sure you don't want to go for a hayride with us? It's 3 below?
That does sound cold. I'm a Californian. My blood is thinned now. I grew up in Rhode Island, but I can't take that anymore.
Hey, if you want to really set the Wayback Machine, I started programming in binary and Fortran because I was wanting to go to be with my boyfriend in advanced placed calculus.
Awesome.
And I couldn't operate a slide rule.
Awesome. But you were able to program.
Correct. And then all the guys, because, there was 2 girls and 18 guys in this class.
Yeah.
And they're all down there watching me as I'm programming, and then everybody got interested. And they had the little computer down by the shop class.
It was probably a teletype. It was probably, connected to a mainframe in the basement. It went chung, 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 chung.
It was funny. Then I learned the program in COBOL on MarkSense cards.
Wow.
And I still print in those big letters.
Perfect block letters that fit right in that box.
Beautiful.
So, but that's really important because I think we still have a problem in computer science that girls think they don't belong, and they really do. Some of the best programmers I know are girls.
Yeah, because we're so detail intense.
It's perfect.
Then I went to big old mainframe computers, and if you want to really set the Wayback Machine and talk about feds being behind, we used to have to keep a 500 BPI tape drive, and the IBM repair people had to keep 3 in the basement just to cannibalize it for that 500 BPI tape drive, and they sent the tape unencrypted to the feds. We transmitted it, and we used to have one handset per phone. We had 32 bin lines, and we had to keep...
Like 32 phones sitting there?
Each phone would connect to a handset, and we called them bin lines, and you would connect the handset. You want to really set the Wayback Machine? I can help you, Leo. Don't let Heather tease you. I'm probably the oldest.
That's so great. I love it, Naomi. I think that's fabulous.
Anyway, I'm having trouble. I'm trying to help some people, and it's like their hard drive doesn't have the ID to sync up to a machine. I have SpinRite, but it won't even recognize it when I hook up the computer.
In order for SpinRite to work, you have to be able to actually see the drive, obviously. For any software to work, the operating system has to be able to see the drive.
And is there anything I can do to get that head back?
So is it a USB external drive, or are you connecting it into the computer via the SATA bus?
Well, I can do the SATA, and I have the IDE. I have.
Okay, so you are able to connect it directly to the computer, not via USB interface.
My husband says everywhere I have cannibalized.
I'm glad that you've stayed a geek, Naomi. That's awesome. That's fabulous. So if you can't see it, you know, USB sometimes can hide the drive from SpinRite if the USB interface is broken. But if you've put the drive inside a machine directly and SpinRite still doesn't see it, then it's very likely that the circuit board on the drive is damaged. And sometimes, if you could find exactly the same drive and take that part and put it on the old drive, you can get things to work again. It may just be that the circuit board failed, but it does sound like a hardware failure as opposed to a software failure. In other words, SpinRite won't fix it because it's something's really wrong with it.
I don't know if I can hook it up, you know, because I have all the little IDE SATA drive conversion things to plug in, and then I can make it also a USB hookup, whatever.
Don't use USB because that hides a lot of the it still works. SpinRite will work, but it'll hide a lot of the interface. And if the USB isn't working, then that will hide it. So, you know, you can get from newer tech in a lot of places for, you know, $35–40 a universal drive interface that will hook up with any drive. You have to take the drive. So it was a USB drive, was it?
It was a hard drive, and
but it was connected via. Was it in the computer, or was it connected as an external drive?
It was in the computer.
Oh, okay.
Hard drive.
All right. So you're looking at it directly then.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that means that there's a hardware failure, and almost certainly it's the circuit board on the hard drive.
So try putting it back into the original computer that it came from, and then hooking up SpinRite.
Yes. And if you still can't see it, then there's a hardware failure, and you're going to have to send it to someone who has the parts. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yes, Wally J says, whenever you buy a drive, buy two so you can, identical drives, and you can swap the circuit board. I don't think circuit board failures are that common. But certainly that would be one way to preserve it forever. You know how it is getting your team together in the same room. Isn't that great? What stories, huh? Hey, our show today... Oh, go. Thank you. Brought to you by My Sandwich. No, our show today brought to you by, where is it? iFixit.com. iFixit. If you can fix it, you should fix it, and iFixit lets you do that. iFixit is a great place for user-submitted and iFixit-generated manuals for how to fix things, and then the parts to do it. The whole idea behind iFixit is you have the right to repair. If you own a piece of hardware, you have the right to take it apart, to fix it. You shouldn't have to send it to the company and fix it. You should be like Naomi. And iFixit has everything you need. It's like having a free online repair manual for everything from a lawnmower to a Galaxy S3. Shatter your iPhone screen, want to repair your laptop, need to swap the battery? iFixit has it covered. They've got the greatest videos and all the tools you need, like my lovely iProtect toolkit. I also have, and I love this too, you should get all of these things. You should buy every one of them. This is the iFixit magnetic mat that, so as you remove screws from your device, they're always magnetic. They'll stick on this, and you have even a little dry erase marker so you can write down what each screw did. It's just fabulous. And then the iFixit kit. Look at this thing. Starts with a wrist strap so you can ground yourself. A lot of areas, static electricity, it can be a killer to your hardware. So that prevents that from being a problem. You get, this is, by the way, quite a deal. And I'm going to tell you how you can get an even better deal. Normally $65. You get this 54-bit driver kit. Look at this. For taking apart stuff, almost all of the companies nowadays use non-standard fasteners, screws. So having the right... First of all, knowing how to open... There we go. It's a little tight. This is not the one I use at home. No. Knowing how to open the thing is key. Okay. Now, here it is, the 54-bit driver kit. Look at that. Everything. Pentalobes, Torx, a beautiful handle, a couple of them, in fact. This is a very nice thing to have. These are 54 standard, specialty, and security bits, including Phillips, Pentalobe, Torx, Torx Security, Tri-Wing, Triangle bit. Triangle bit, you know what that's for? McDonald's toys.
No way.
Yes. This thing has everything. You can take apart. Okay, so you get home, you got the Happy Meal. The toy breaks in 3 minutes. You can take it apart and fix it. You can fix it.
Fix your Monsters
You
Inc.
get the
doll.
Yes, you get the swivel top precision driver, the flex extension for hard to reach screws. I mean, this is great. ESD safe precision tweezers for delicate manipulation. You get your spudgers, nylon and metal. Look at this. This is, what do you think that's for?
Cleaning your teeth.
No, that's for getting in there when you drop a screw.
Of course.
Isn't that great?
Yes.
I love this. I love this. Lightweight, compact. It rolls up. You see, I keep it by my side. Actually, I have one at home. This is the one we use for the ad. Mine at home is not nearly so tidy.
For the geek in your life, it's perfect.
Oh, what a great! This is a stocking stuffer that will make somebody cry.
Yeah,
with
extraordinaire.
Joy. Cry with joy. Normally $64.95, and of course you use it with iFixit.com. You can fix it yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, if you go to iFixit.com/twit, iFixit.com/twit, please do that so they know you heard it here. And you use our offer code TechGuy at checkout, you will get $10 off of this. Don't tell your loved one you got a deal. Well, you could. iFixit.com/twit. $10 off any purchase of $50 or more. Use the promo code TechGuy at checkout. You already got the toolkit. Get the magnetic project mat. All the parts you need here. iPod mini replacement battery. Retina front panel. I wish I'd known about this. The Xbox 360 Red Ring of Death Fix-It Kit. Do you know how many Xbox 360s I've sent back to Microsoft? I wish I'd known about that. iFixit.com. We love those guys, Kyle Wiens and crew. And we thank them for their support. Really great stuff. Great repair guys. And you got to have the tools. Who doesn't love tools? Every guy, every gal. Naomi should get this. Naomi, I'm going to send you this. Look at, she should have that. Sounds like, in fact, Naomi's husband, if you're watching, I could hear him in the background. Perfect holiday gift. If I gave this to Lisa, she'd wing me. She'd say, hey, it's just the right size for, But you know the people who would love it. And I'm telling you, if I got this, I would well up. I would go, you know me. You know me so well. It's perfect. I'm welling up right now, just thinking about it. And I already have 2. Ozzy, do you want an iFixit kit? No.
Oh.
Ozzy?
I thought his ear perked up.
Hey, how are you? His ears did perk up, didn't they? Take the. Well, now you're gonna have to fight over the good chair. I don't know who's gonna get the good chair. No. You can always evict Ozzy. It's okay. Yeah, Ozzy, of course, was sitting in the nice chair. Well, he's not a fool. Hi, welcome. Where are you guys from?
Berkeley, Oakland.
Berkeley, Oakland.
Second time visiting, first time.
Welcome back.
You are the person who got me on Plants vs. Zombies.
I'm so sorry. Have you played Clash of Clans yet? I'll get you addicted to that now. Yeah. Are you playing the new one, PvZ 2?
A little bit, not much.
I love the new one. Oh, well, you got a long way to go then if you're still in the original.
No, I beat it, and then I...
Yeah, I beat the original many times. Yeah, I have not beat the second. PvZ 2, really hard.
See, I have it on my...
And a lot bigger.
Android, so
They have it on Android.
Yeah, no, I have it on there. I'm like, ugh.
I know, after a while. I haven't. You have to take a break sometimes.
I'm on Candy Crush now.
Oh, don't start playing Candy Crush. Oh, I'm so sorry. You have my deepest sympathy.
She's ruined.
Yeah. Lisa plays Candy Crush. I say, watch the movie. This is an important part. She says, wait a minute. Yes. Chocolate. I got to get rid of the chocolate. Lisa, the guy's going to die. You're not going to see this. I got to get the chocolate. I can't.
Ozzy sees food.
Oh, yeah. He knows I got a turkey sandwich here. Yeah, he knows. He's no fool. He's a smart dog. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk about computers, the internet, cell phones, camcorders, home theater, MPA3 players, all that jazz, and, of course, digital photography. Our digital photography guru, Chris Marquardt, stops by at 33 1/3 after the hour to do a little photographic myth busting. If you have a question, a comment, if you have a thought, you have something you want to share, if you are struggling with your technology, this is the show for you. You can call me right now, 8888 Ask Leo, 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. and Canada, or use Skype. That's also free from anywhere in the world. You can also use our website anytime as a way to find stuff, to learn stuff, to fix my answers if you think I did it wrong. Leo, you're so wrong. The right answer is, you just go to that website and add your thoughts to the comments, and we will welcome them. We will be very happy, because I think, the whole idea of this website is to over time, just get all the information, everything I know, everything you know, just get it all in there so people can search it and find it. It is free to use. There's no charge. There's no subscription fee. It always will be free, too. You have my word on it, thanks to our great sponsors. TechGuyLabs.com. I'm not alone in all this. No, I have a partner in crime, Heather Hammond, our lone phone ranger, who's bundled up today. Could be worse. We could be in Philly. Look at the snow coming down there. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
They have a snowblower that during the in-between plays, they have to use the snowblower to go out and clear the lines on the field. It's snowing so hard. And they have to keep doing it because it accumulates. It accumulates so much that in between plays, the football players accumulate snow on their shoulder pads. It's like little epaulets of snow. Man. I'm so glad that radio is not a sport played outside.
True that.
Who should I talk to next here?
Oh, yeah. Well, we got to talk to Peter in Brooklyn and ask him how things are going there.
It could be cold in Brooklyn. I wouldn't be surprised. Hi, Peter. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo. Always a pleasure.
Thanks for calling. What can I do for you?
I have a 27-inch iMac, and I have two LED cinema displays. The problem I'm having is, in order to shut them off, the Apple Cinema displays, there's no on and off.
There isn't there? Is there? Yeah.
Now, I don't want to use all three of them all at once. Sometimes I do, but what I've been doing now is like lowering the brightness on both of them.
Well, this is a good question. I never thought about this. Most other display technologies have an on-off switch, so you're not using it. You press the button on the front. It's dark. It doesn't waste power. It doesn't, wear out the screen. But Apple doesn't, Steve Jobs. It goes back to Steve Jobs. He doesn't like switches. He doesn't like on-off switches. He doesn't like buttons. The fewer, the better. And when they designed their cinema displays, they didn't put buttons on them. Now, you're using multiple displays. That's a great way to go. But how do you turn off a single display if you don't want it?
That's the thing. I've been pulling the plug out, but that...
No, don't do that.
The USB ports and stuff. And
I'm looking, and I don't see any way you can do that. Anybody in the chat room have an idea? Seems like somebody should write a program.
Someone said Switch Res X, but I wasn't sure how to use it.
Yeah, I have Switch Res X. I was using that for a while to get my MacBook Pro Retina display to operate at its native resolution. I gave that up because it was such a high resolution. Maybe, it would be something like that, something that controlled displays that allowed you to... I don't think you could turn it off, probably. Probably all it would allow you to do is darken it. Anybody in the chat room have an idea or listening and wants to call 8888 Ask Leo and help Peter here? Because I be honest with you, I have no idea, Peter. I have no... Let me... if you search the App Store for... display power or anything like that. Unfortunately, the App Store has not the best search engine. Well, this is interesting. It's not what you want, but it is something called Should I Sleep, $1.99. Annoyed by the display getting dim when you're reading or watching something? This app looks at you through the camera If it sees you or hears you, it keeps the screen on. You want the opposite. I wonder if there's a way that it could turn it off. Anybody in the chat room? Anybody? Peter, are you in the chat room right now?
I actually have it open, yes. I'm in
okay. So keep an eye there, and if I see anything, I'll mention it on the air. Most of the solutions so far are pretty much what you're doing, which is use a power strip with an on-off switch or something like that. It's an interesting problem. Apple just assumes you're going to leave it on.
Yeah.
And of course, it makes sense. You don't want to have them on all the time. I don't know what the answer is. I have two screens as well, and I leave them both on.
Leo, can I ask another quick question, please?
Sure.
Leo, I use in Windows because I do like dual boot with the Mac, and in Windows I use Nero if I have like a video file to make it into a DVD. Now, when I use it on a Mac, I'm using Toast. When let's say it's an AVI or something, I encode it. For some reason, the sound doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah, it's probably. So remember that in order to make a DVD that will play back properly, you have to adhere to very strict guidelines as to what the audio and video are compressed in and so forth. Whether it's Dolby or stereo and all of that. And my guess is, but it plays on a PC, just not on a Mac. Is that what you're saying?
Right. And then if I use Nero, it works perfect.
Yeah, so Nero's doing in other words, Nero's doing the right thing, encoding it properly. So whatever else you're doing.
Is there a program for Mac besides Toast that maybe I don't know about that would make the AVI into a movie?
Toast should do it. Toast is a nice little program, but it is very simple. Most people on the Mac we used to use iDVD, remember? Apple stopped making that. iMovie will burn DVDs. So I think iMovie would do it right. Have you tried, let's see what else. They're saying Handbrake, but Handbrake doesn't burn discs. That's a good question again. You're very good at stumping me, Peter. I'm not sure. Now, Padre SJ in our chat room says that iGo makes a product in their green line that he says will do what you want it to do. I guess in some way we'll watch... I don't know. See, I don't think anything automatic will know whether you want your monitor on or not. Let me look at the link that it's called iGo's Green Power Protectors, and Father Robert has given us a link to Amazon. So the idea is a surge protector. It automatically powers down outlets when not in use. But see, that's not really the issue because as far as the outlet knows, it is in use. It doesn't know that you don't want to see it. So I guess
I can plug them both. Like keep a power strip like this.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Just
with me, and then flip it
I think it's almost worse for the monitor to turn it off and on again than to just leave it on.
Well, you know what is actually like today because I'm watching your show. I keep it on one monitor while I'm doing other stuff.
Right.
But mainly, unless I'm watching one of your podcasts, I don't usually use the other monitors that well.
You got more monitors just to watch us, huh? I love you, Peter. Let me give you a big hug. That's awesome. Yeah, well, then I better solve this, huh? My opinion is best to leave the monitor on. I don't think switching it off is a good idea. I would just leave it on, and I think what you're doing, darkening it, is probably fine. But I can't think of another way to do it. It's... I like the idea of these iGos. That's a great idea. If you're not using a device that turns off the power to it, which saves juice, it's a green thing to do, but it doesn't solve your problem. And I think almost any DVD burner on the Mac should work. I'm surprised Toast does not, but it is designed to be something very straightforward and simple. So try iMovie. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888. Ask Leo. I mention the chat room all the time, and I probably should tell you where it is. Actually, the easiest thing to do, go to techguylabs.com, and there's a link there with information about how to get into the chat room and all of that. It's a great place. If you've been in a chat room before, you might think, oh, I don't know, that's unruly. They're hooligans. But our chat room is hooligan-free, thanks to our fabulous chat room moderators, of whom there are quite a few. I don't even want to start listing their names because it goes on and on, but they're really great. They work very hard. They're all volunteers. And please don't feel offended if they ask you to do something or kick you out for misbehaving, because we realize that in a chat room, you got to keep a lid on it all the time, because it's so easy to get out of control. And so they work very hard to keep it in control. And they're the hooligan squad. That's right. 8888 Ask Leo. Again, everything, techguylabs.com. That's the website. Let's go to Thousand Oaks, California. Carrie's on the line. Hi, Carrie. Leo Laporte.
Hi, Leo. You and your core heart are so wonderful
Aren't they great?
People like me. Yeah.
Oh.
And you're respectful and kind to embryos like me. I'm a midlifer, and I'll go along with my silly question. When I try to research on Google, frequently I get an irritating message, something to the effect of Google Chrome didn't load properly.
Yeah.
Then the choices are reload or more. I have trouble following the more choice, and sometimes reload doesn't work. What is my simplest way to avoid or handle
It sounds like what's happening is that are you on Wi-Fi?
No.
Wireless? No. Sounds like your internet connection is a little bit erratic.
Okay.
And when you first, are you using a laptop?
Yes.
So one thing that happens to me all the time is when I first turn the laptop on, or more likely open it up. It's been sleeping because I've had it, closed. When I open it up or wake it up, it takes a little while for it to get an internet signal from the Wi-Fi. It doesn't happen instantly. So if I sit down and I open up my laptop and type in a URL, a lot of times I'll get that error message from Chrome, which means it doesn't have an internet connection. And if you wait a little bit, it'll reload and you should be fine. So possibly what's happening is your internet connection, either because the laptop's just waking up, it's a little groggy, frankly.
Okay.
You know what? You want on the internet now? And then just give it 10 seconds to get on the internet, and then try it again. And then if it's happening while you're in the middle of something, then maybe it is that the internet is a little bit unreliable. I don't know. That message usually means it just couldn't make a connection to the website. It may also mean the website is mistyped, or and people forget this happens. The website might be down.
Okay. I can't thank you enough. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're great. It's good to talk to you, Carrie. Never fear. I want to talk to embryos, because seriously, this is what I'm here for.
Especially the midlife embryos.
Hey, isn't that nice? Isn't it wonderful that here we are in the middle of our lives, that we could do something new and exciting and challenging and learn?
Thank you.
Yeah, take care,
so much.
Carrie.
It is nice.
Yeah, of course it is.
And Lisa, have a wonderful holiday, and hello to your cohort there.
Thank you. It's so great to see you. Thank you, Carrie. Appreciate it. Ivan in Brisbane, Australia. Hello, Ivan.
Hi, Leo. Greetings from Australia.
Greetings to you, too. I love Australia. And I'm jealous because you're, of course, in the middle of summer.
Yes, indeed. It's very warm.
I'm so jealous. I love Australia. It's our trip to Sydney last year and throughout New Caledonia and Queensland was just so much fun. I really loved it. So what can I do for you?
Okay, my son is about to go into high school, so I think it's about time that we set up the DNS within the router.
Yes, to protect him.
Yeah, he's starting to tinker with certain things. So the problem we have, Leo, is that the ISP router that was provided to us, they have the DNS locked down. You can't change the setting.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Yeah.
So a couple of things you could try. So the router is provided by the internet service provider. It really is two things that box is doing. One is it's a modem. Are you on DSL or cable?
Yeah, cable. See, I can find plenty of DSL replacement modems, but cables are hard.
A little harder. Yeah, I don't want you to replace the modem. It may or may not be allowed even by your cable provider. I don't know what the rules are there. Here in the States, Comcast and many of the other cable providers will allow you to buy a cable modem. You have to buy one that's approved by them. And usually it's economical to do so because they charge you a monthly rental fee. But, you know, it might be different in Australia. It might be that the cable company there says, no, you have to rent it from us. However, there may be ways around this. So that's the first thing we're going to see if we can do. One is, are you using it as a Wi-Fi access spot?
Yeah, it's a combined modem router.
Exactly. It's two things. It's the modem, which you have to have, and then it's the router. But what we might be able to do is disable the router portion of it. Have you looked to see if you can do that?
No.
You may be able to go out and buy. So there's two things. One is buy a replacement for the whole thing. But one is, what if we just buy a replacement for the router part? We continue to use the cable company's modem, but we disable the router capability. Is there an Ethernet jack on the back of it? I bet there is.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So you could go out, get your own Wi-Fi router, connect the, if you can, go into the settings in the cable modem, disable the router, connect that into your new router, and let your new router work. Now you'll be able to change DNS settings and everything in the new router.
Okay.
Or if you can't do that, somebody in the chat room said, and a good idea, SDC says, set up a DMZ to point to your own router. In other words, say, don't route anything to this address, and then go from there. There's probably a number of ways to trick, in other words, this modem router into something else.
The other option I wondered was, because it's from the ISP, am I able to change their firmware?
I wouldn't. You might, but I wouldn't. I think best thing to do is to leave their box alone. They probably, if you can't buy a replacement, and you should ask, am I allowed to? But if you can't, then I would leave their box alone and just use your own box. Now, somebody is telling me in the chat room, and that's intriguing, that if you, I presume what you want to do is use OpenDNS instead of the ISP's DNS.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, we love this. OpenDNS is a free service, although they have paid services as well, that changes the internet phone book. So that's the DNS, or domain name system, that tells your computer where to go when you enter in a URL, a domain name. So if you go to yahoo.com in your browser, it's really not yahoo.com, it's a number. And the computer has to do this phone book lookup using something called a DNS system, or domain name system. The phone book is nominally maintained by your internet service provider, but they often don't, offer additional services. They may, in fact, do. I know in Australia there's been talk about them doing some filtering as well, and you may not want that. Certainly they do that in England. So doing it yourself is great. OpenDNS.com, and they may have a solution too. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. That's funny. Naomi said, yeah, I want that iFixit kit. We'll get you one, Naomi. I don't normally do that, but I did say I would. Just like I said I'd give Heather an iPhone.
Uh-oh. See, and we have tape, so you're...
So I got to do both.
Caught.
All right, no, we'll get it out to Naomi. Get her address. How much did you end up writing an amount in that check?
I haven't done it yet. I feel so like, I don't know what it is.
This is how much I trust Heather. I gave her a blank check.
I mean, I feel bad writing it for the amount that it is.
No. Don't at all. I'm teasing. I don't mind sending Naomi an iFixit kit, and I don't mind giving you an iPhone, because I said that I would do it, and I'm glad to do it. In fact, I'm glad the chat room kept me honest on that, because I forgot.
Well, Leo.
Well.
You convinced me.
What, John?
I like the plasma on the card better than having it permanent. We can put it in the
Yeah, then we can use it if we need it. Yeah.
The problem is that card is...
Let's buy another one.
It's our fourth Avatar card. So, yeah, I'd like to buy another one.
Yeah, you have my permission.
It costs twice as much as that.
How much is it?
$450.
I'll get it. That's fine. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Yeah, give me the address, and I'll send it to iFixit and see if they want to do it, because I mentioned it in the ad, and if they don't, I'll do it myself. But I think they will. They're great that way. Chris Marquardt, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. How are you?
Is it snowing in Tübingen?
Well, from judging from the brightness of the screen, kind of. No, it's not. It did snow just a little bit, but it's.
I'm fixing that.
Over again.
I wish you could see this Philadelphia Eagles football game because it's snowing in Philadelphia against the Detroit Lions, and it's like the snow has finally stopped. It was like the Blizzard Bowl. It was just wild. They had to play football.
How many inches on the field? No, I guess they have a heated field.
No,
right?
They don't, and they've been actually snow blowing the field in between plays because you can't see the lines. So they don't play soccer in the snow, do they?
Of course they do. I don't know. I mean, I'm not the best soccer
If it's really snowy, I don't think you could.
If it's really snowing, I think they have a way to stop a game.
Yeah, I think they'd have to. Football, apparently they stop for nothing except lightning on the field. If there's lightning, I've seen them stop a game for lightning because they don't want
these are
players
tough guys. And
they're
they have
tough.
Armor on. And yeah, sure.
And so the television network is superimposing the other markings on the field because you don't know what yard line they're on or anything. So
the TV network has digital markings, but the players don't have markings.
Well, no. So they've snowplow the 10-yard lines, and then but you can't see the numbers under them. So the network is
every player gets a Google Glass, and then they can see it.
If they're playing with Google Glass.
An augmented reality thing, and then everyone sees the same thing again.
It's unbelievable. I wish I could show you this, but the NFL would shut us down.
Let me see. What is that? Philadelphia
Eagles and the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, let me just quickly.
It's a terrible game because nobody can hold on to anything. It's so cute. Naomi says, "Yeah, I want my eye fixed." Okay, all right. I did say I'd give it to her.
I think there's a picture.
Me and my
big
mouth.
This is awesome.
Are you seeing it?
Yes,
it's amazing.
Just a still picture here, but it's awesome. Oh, well, it's winter, right?
Right. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Look who's here. It's Chris Marquardt, the photo guide, our digital Santa. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Digital Santa. I'm not sure about that. I'm not bringing presents.
What? You said.
I'm busting myths.
Myth buster.
Today, I wanna. Well, it's more like setting some misconceptions straight, and this one is about sizes, image sizes, and DPI and things. You know. Have you ever asked someone, send me a picture, and told them what size, and they didn't really know what to do?
Yes, all the time.
The problem is that when we talk about image sizes, photo sizes, we talk about two different things, pretty much. We talk about, first of all, we talk about the size of the file, which can be in bytes and kilobytes or megabytes.
Right.
And the second is we're talking about the dimensions of the image.
Yes.
Which we measure
14
in a different
inches
way.
by 11 inches. There's a third way, the number of dots per inch, right?
Exactly. So let's talk about the file sizes first, because that's actually quite interesting. There are several things that make the file size. First, it is the dimensions of the image. So if we have an image that is 10 by, let's use a very small kind of icon, 10 by 10 pixels. That's 100 pixels, right?
Mm-hmm. So
the more colors you put in there, the more each of those pixels will weigh, so to speak.
Oh,
so
I like that.
If you have, let's say, what we call a 24-bit image, that means each of those pixels has 24 bits. And as we all know, 8 bits is 1 byte. At least the computer geeks know that. So that's 3 bytes per pixel. And with 100 pixels times 3 bytes, it's 300 bytes. Simple enough, right? Now, the next thing that comes in is the compression. It's kind of complicating things. If we look at a JPEG, for example, JPEG kind of squeezes that. It throws things away that you're not necessarily gonna notice. So it makes things smaller. But in general, there's this is the whole thing about the sizes of the picture in terms of the bytes or the kilobytes or the megabytes. So that's the one side. But now we're looking at the dimensions. And that's where it gets interesting. Because again, we have two different areas where those dimensions apply. First of all, we have, as you said, inches. That's the real world. That's when we print something out. Mm-hmm. We measure the picture in inches. And the second area is we are on the web. We put something on a web page or an email, and we never intend to print that out. And that's where we measure in pixels. We don't use real world units like inches. They don't really make sense as long as we stay on that digital side on the web, for example, because screens have different sizes. You might have a 24-inch screen. You might have a 17-inch screen and a retina screen. That's all it's kind of a moving target. So as long as we're on the web, The only way that makes sense to give someone a picture is by giving them pixels. You get a picture that's 500 times 300 pixels in size. And have you ever been asked to deliver a picture for some print thing at for some web thing at a certain DPI? I get this asked all the time.
Yeah, because if you, this is why it's so confusing, right?
This is confusing. Someone tells me, hey, I need a picture 500 by 300 pixels for an online magazine at 72 dpi.
Now I'm confused.
Because that is not...
It's not the same thing.
That is the confusing thing. As long as we stay in the digital realm, we don't need the DPIs. The DPI stands for dots per inch, which implies a measurement of some size, which we only have in the print world. That's the kind of thing we have to keep in mind. So if anyone asks you that, give me a picture, so and so many pixels, at a certain DPI, as long as there's no printing involved, the DPIs don't matter. They just don't make a difference.
Yeah, because you're not printing it.
So that's the misconception I'm trying to clear up, and it goes really deep because it happens even from professionals. I get asked by online magazines, professional magazines, going, we need a pixel image at a certain DPI, and it just does not make sense. So as long as you are on the web, just keep that in mind. I think that's kind of the essence. As long as you're on the web, as long as you do pictures for online, pixels are what matters. And as soon as you go into the print realm, into the real world with a picture where you can actually print something out and touch it, that's where inches make sense.
Of course, it's changed so much because it used to be, as somebody in the chat room was pointing out, you would say 72 dots per inch for a screen and 300 dots per inch a laser writer.
Not true anymore.
Because we have Holly's Retina displays now. If
Retina display has more than 300 DPIs.
Right.
So
it's really a mess. It's a mess.
It's a moving. Screens are a very moving target. Print is actually kind of more steady in that way. So just keep in mind. By the way, if anyone from the web field asks you about DPI, my strategy now is I've stopped arguing. I just give them the DPI, and it's gonna be all right.
Because they're confused.
As long as the pixels are the right size, everything else will be okay.
So all right. So let me get some practical advice then from you.
Yes.
What is when you scan documents or you save pictures? What is a practical size? And I don't mean inches for the
a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
A rule of thumb is if you scan just for the web, we're talking a couple of thousand pixels as a size for a picture, as the width for a picture, for example. If we scan for a document to print out, the software will typically allow you to put inches in there and then choose something between 150 and 300 DPI for a print picture, and that will be just fine.
Okay. And for screens, who knows?
For screens, well, with the Retina screens, it might make sense to screen at higher resolutions.
I think so, yeah. And I've started saving out JPEGs when I want to export JPEGs. Those compressed images from Lightroom or whatever, iPhoto, wherever I keep my images. I'm starting to make those bigger than I used to be and higher quality than I used to be.
Bigger in terms of dimensions?
No, because that's irrelevant. But in terms of file size.
In terms of file size,
I want higher
and
quality.
in terms of pixels, and in terms of pixels, so
yeah.
you can do more with them later.
Yeah. Because the world is changing fast.
Things are changing. Yes.
Chris Marquardt, he is a moving target too. You can find out where he'll be next with his workshops at discoverthetopfloor.com. His great images too. I mean, he's a great photographer and joins us every week to do a little photographic. It's not myth busting, explanation. Helping people understand. And just whatever you do, don't say when you ask him for a print what the DPI should be. Because he won't.
No, with a print, that's okay. With a print, that's okay.
I mean, for an on-screen.
With a web picture.
Yeah,
See,
I'm still confused.
Yeah.
You haven't helped me. No, you have. I understand. I know what you're talking about. Thank you, Chris. What are you shooting with these days? What's your favorite camera?
Oh, it's still a DSLR. It's still a full-frame DSLR. I'm still shooting with my good old 5D Mark II.
I want you to come up for next week with some recommendations for cameras in a variety of price ranges because people are shopping for the photo bug in their life. Maybe a high school student graduation gift. I gave my son a Sony NEX camera for his graduation gift, and he hasn't stopped taking pictures. I'm so proud of him. He loves it. He loves it. So, inexpensive to a medium price. And I guess you could say if people who, price is no object. what you would
We'll do
recommend.
that.
Maybe next week we can do that. Our photo assignment continues on, though, and you can participate in that. It's just not a competition, just an excuse to take pictures. We're looking for a photo illustrating the word, what, arriving? Is that what it was, or arrival?
Arrival.
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 A-R-R-I-V-A-L. Not A space R-I-V-A-L.
No,
Could be
just
that, too.
arrival.
All right, arrival. We don't know what it means. You figure that out and take a picture, tag it with the word arrival, and upload it to our Tech Guy group on Flickr.com. It's free to do that. If you're not already a member of Flickr, it's well worth joining. A lot of good stuff there for photographers. Flickr.com, Tech Guy group. Illustrate arrival, and in a few weeks we'll pick some of the most interesting images to talk about on the show. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely.
Take care. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy. More of your calls right after this. They say you could audition for the Oberammergau Passion Play.
Here is a super secret.
They like your beard, I guess, and you are kind of Christ-like.
Oh yeah, sure. I need to.
You could play the young Jesus.
I'm not sure. Not that. Yeah. Was that too confusing?
No,
probably a bit.
Well, it is, but it is in its nature. I don't know. There is an easy way to explain it. I think what you did is good.
Well, let's do the cameras next week.
I think that would be fun, and the timing is about right now. You know, the 15th of December. That's about when people are going to start really thinking about buying.
And I'll keep it on an entry.
You know,
entry
Tony
level.
Wang had, and I was really impressed, a Canon point and shoot with an APS-C sensor, and he said it was $300 on Amazon.
Oh, the entry level cameras are from an image quality. I mean, if we're not going into the deepest low light performance thing, the entry level cameras, the DSLRs, are almost any bit as good as the professional ones. They might not be built as good, but the image quality that you get out of those is amazing.
Sensor on a point and shoot for $300?
Yes, you get that. Yeah,
you'd be crazy now to buy. A point and shoot with a 1/4-inch sensor. It'd be just nuts. No reason
but then it means bigger lenses and bigger accessories.
I think this is interchangeable lenses too.
Probably.
I didn't get the model number. I have to go.
Was that the latest Canon, the M?
He said it's been out for a while. It's Canon.
Then it's the Canon M.
APS-C.
Which is now being followed by the M2, which is another one, a small one.
All right, let me look. Yeah, boy, I'm tempted to. I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need it.
Just another gadget.
I don't need it, but boy, the price.
Well,
is right.
you could make your bigger lenses fit on that.
Yeah, that's right. He said with an adapter you can do that.
There's an M adapter to M to EF adapter, so your 50 1.2 can fit on that, and then the lens weighs about 10 times as the camera.
Amazing, amazing, unbelievable. All right, Christopher, thank you.
All right,
see ya.
Talk to you again next week.
Bye, Chris. What a world! What a world! I love film. I do. Yeah, Chris still uses film sometimes. It's wild. Johnny Jett, huh? All right. We could do him at 1:30. He's normally on Saturday, right? But he wasn't available yesterday. So, did he come in the chat room or? You don't like it, Compter? Yes, sir.
So there's a real long email. Some guy is going to do sign language version.
I know. I forwarded it to Steve. Is that not awesome? Is that not awesome?
So he's got this sample, but in the sample, the animations don't sign. He said it's a rough sample, but I want to see them do sign language.
It is such a neat idea. This guy wants to do a sign language version of Security Now.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Wow.
Talk about
wow.
markets we've never had before.
So that is really neat. I thanked him profusely and I sent it along to Steve, and I think it's a great idea. The Lumix G6 is supposed to be very good, huh? That's the one I think that Peter was talking about yesterday. But see, it's more expensive. And that's a Micro Four Thirds, right? I'm not sure who's on Twitter. I know we have Harry McCracken? Padre SJ, yay. Oh, okay. Well, I'm not going to recommend the EOSM then. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. This ain't work. This ain't working. 8888 Ask Leo. We're having some fun talking about tech. And if you have a question, if you want to know something, I'd love to talk to you. 8888 Ask Leo. Website is techguylabs.com. Don is in Long Beach, our next call. Hi, Don. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Yeah, hi, Leo.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry, I had to run across the room.
Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay.
I really appreciate you taking my call.
My pleasure. Thanks for holding on.
Thanks. So I've got a good friend of mine whose husband passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Or he died. Thank you. They made kind of a naughty Christmas video. And I stole I didn't steal, I borrowed the video CD from her.
Oh.
And I want to convert it to a DVD so that she can view it again.
So it's on a CD, but she can't watch it because it needs a computer.
Well, even her new computer won't watch it. I've got an older computer.
Do you know what format it is on the CD?
On the CD, it's a video CD, but it says that it's a TVOX.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and I've tried a bunch of different programs. I found one by SoMud that would convert it, but it's really pixelated.
Yeah. Well, it may. So when you look at it, when you watch it on your computer, is it pixelated?
No, it's clean.
Good.
It's beautiful. It's yeah.
So
if my friend was still alive, he'd be proud.
Really, his wife doesn't mind, huh?
Well, she doesn't know that I've seen it.
Oh dear.
And she doesn't know that I have it.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. Well, I'm not going to get in between that part. Let me just answer the tech question.
Yeah.
And you could call Dr. Joyce Brothers for everything else, or whoever is doing that these days.
Yeah.
Let me think about the issue. So it's an older format. It is not a CD-ROM as we would know it. It's probably designed to play in some sort of odd player, I would guess.
Well, it's actually on an old CDR.
So it is on a CDR.
Yeah,
and what are you playing it back with?
I just put it in my old computer and
it just played.
Yeah,
and it looks good on the old computer.
Looks perfect on the old computer.
Here's what I would try. What we need to do is somehow get that data off without in any way recompressing it. We want to get it onto the computer, and then we can play with different tools to burn it to a DVD. The reason it was so pixelated is you weren't getting, obviously, all the information that's in the video file.
Right.
So it sounds like it might be a VCD. I'm not sure exactly. Have you tried Videoland Client, VLC?
Yes.
So videoland.org, it's a free download. Videoland Client, if it can read it and play it, which it probably can, because I've never seen anything it can't, will also save it, export it.
Okay.
So I would try VLC.
Yeah, I've tried quite a few.
Does it open in VLC?
No, it gave me an error that it was in an unrecognizable format.
Oh, that's unusual because VLC is so complete.
Yeah, and see, I've tried pretty much all the free ones that I can get.
Well, what is it that's playing it on your computer?
It's just the regular
Windows Media opens up.
Windows Media Player that's doing, but I'm playing it on a computer that's 5, almost 6 years old.
Really interested in what format it is.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at it, and it is a VCD.
Yeah, video CDs were a little bit of an odd format, and I guess that the older Windows Media Player had a VCD codec. So the main thing that we know is that it looks good when you play it back properly on a Windows machine. The quality is good.
Yes.
So what we need is a way to convert the VCD to a DVD format, which is MPEG-2 format, without trashing the quality. I've used in the past a program called Total Video Converter. I don't know the one you mentioned. I do know Total Video Converter does a good job. You can try it for free just to see.
Okay.
Just to see what you will get, because you want to check to see if you're going to get good quality.
Okay.
Now, it's interesting. Somebody said VLC will read that VCD if you enable it in the settings. So try again. You might have something that'll do it. Enable it in the settings. Chat room's also recommending a program called Free Make. Handbrake may also handle it. VCD is MPEG-1 format, and you're going to convert it or transcode it, to use the technical term, to MPEG-2 format.
Yeah, I was going to ask what format, because I'm pulling up these lists. And
well, you want a program that burns to a video DVD, a standard video DVD. So you shouldn't have to think about the codec, because you want them. There's a very complicated format that it has to adhere to exactly for a DVD player to handle it. So the standards for what needs to be done for the DVD player are more stringent than they are for a computer. Okay. A DVD player is essentially a dumb computer. So it can only do a few things. So it has to be in a format that it understands. So any DVD burner will do fine. What you need to do is to take that MPEG-1 file out of the VCD in a format that your DVD burner, whether it's Microsoft Movie Maker or whatever, can read.
Okay. So should I try to convert it to like the DVD MPEG to the VOD files?
Yeah, well, that's what you're going to need to do, but I wouldn't do it. I would have any video burning software, DVD burning software, will have the capability of importing a variety of file formats and burning it out correctly.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I should go with what the program recommends.
The program's going to turn it into the right thing. What you want is a program that can, you need to find out what the program can read, and then you'll need a program like Total Video Converter that will convert it to that format without messing it up. Another good choice, which is free, is Handbrake, B-R-A-K-E, like a handbrake, .fr. That's free. The key is, how do we get this VCD onto the disc in a format? You know, if you can get it to MPEG-1, that's the right format. That means no transcoding.
Okay.
Transcoding is the enemy. You have to transcode, but you only want to do it once.
Okay.
Because the more you do it, the worse it looks.
So I may need to do this in a couple of steps. First, take it to like an MPEG-1.
You're gonna want to rip the disc. You want to get the MPEG-1 file off the disc, intact if possible, and then you're going to want to burn it to a DVD. Now, remember, the VCD format is not, MPEG-1 is not as high resolution as a DVD. It's not going to look as good as a DVD movie.
Okay.
But it should look as good as it looks when you play it on your computer.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I love your show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good luck with the video. Videohelp.com, by the way, chat room has mentioned a couple of times, is a great place to get this kind of information. Videohelp.com. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Don's in, that was Don in Long Beach. Let's go now to Mike in Winnetka, California. Hi, Mike. Leo Laporte.
Hello, Leo. I just have a quick question for you, and if a chance, I have a plug for ESET if you want that too.
Sure.
Anyway, the question is, I've got an old PC, an old laptop that somebody gave me, an HP. It's an SE 5300 media laptop. Well, anyway, I went to the website, download the Win version of the BIOS where it automatically flashes it, and for some reason it almost breaks it. You can boot up, but at the time you boot up and it starts to load the driver, it freezes. That's it.
So you flashed the BIOS. It sounds like it failed, and you can't boot up anymore.
Right. You can only go to the desktop, and then once it goes to download a driver, the driver.
Oh.
Boom.
Oh, okay, so you are able to get it booted up. It's just the drivers are crashing it.
Yeah, it stops it. Right there.
We got to take a break. Let me think about this one. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Yeah, it lights up when I turn on my mic. Watch. Now you can hear me because the microphone's turned on. On. If you're running a small business, you can't operate at anything less than full speed. I love it. That's why you need... I love it. I loves it. Hour 3 coming up. I was more worried that he'd bricked it with the BIOS update, but it sounds like the firmware update was fine. So, Mike, the issue on that is, sounds like, I'm not sure why here's what I would do. I would boot up into safe mode. That means reboot the computer and hold down the Shift key or the F8 key. And it should be able to kind of get to the desktop in safe mode. Safe mode is a very limited set of, minimal set of drivers. So at that point, you can, I would recommend, remove all the unnecessary drivers or whatever driver's crashing it. Just delete them using the device manager. Now, while you're in safe mode, download the right drivers, most recent drivers, and install them. Oh, yeah, that's right. Jessica Lesson's going to be on, too. This is going to be a good show. Good show. So it sounds like you just got a driver conflict or something like that, but if you boot into safe mode, and you could boot into last known good configuration, that sometimes works. I think because you did a BIOS update, it sounds like you need new motherboard drivers, and I bet you that's what the problem is. Yeah, safe mode with networking. Thank you, SDK. You're absolutely right. Or if you've got another computer, get the drivers from the other computer. I don't know. Robert, are you going to be in studio? I bet he is. I bet you he is. Oh, you know, always upgrade the BIOS, right? Leave the BIOS alone. I feel so sorry for those football players. It looks so cold. We, Retro Style, were planning a MedTech show. We still are. The host we had didn't work out, so we're looking for another host for it. But we are definitely want to do a MedTech show. We also want to do a Johnny Jet show. Oh, Johnny Jet. Johnny Jet. He was in Munich the last I saw. No, these satellite resellers are really offering stuff that you can get on the internet. And they just basically, they're packaging it. So it's not like a scam, but these are all channels that you could get over the internet. So really, they're not doing anything you're not getting anything you don't already get. It's just all packaged in a player. What I do find is in a lot of cases, boy, that's a lie, actually. No bandwidth limits, that's not up to them. That's up to your ISP. You know, what you do get is a player, but I've also been told a lot of these players are not very good. So this is just all stuff you get on the internet anyway. You do not get local TV shows. You do not, this is, you know, you get mostly like soccer games from Syria. Warp Drive is just around the corner. You know what else is just around the corner? Zombies. No, not zombies. The Niners and the Seahawks. Serbian football. It's the best. Yeah, that was the one Dick T. Bartolo showed us, right? Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea at all. I'm not recommending it. Is everyone on Christmas break? We are going to take a break the week of Christmas. Yes. Gosh, I hope not, Debug. Historically, the Niners have done well against the Seahawks at the stick. Not at all. In fact, nobody's done well against the Seahawks in Seattle because it's loud there. Well, for me, it's Monday through Friday, Tommy T. Take Monday the 23rd through Friday the 27th off. But I'll be here on the weekends, right? Well, I'll be back on the Saturday after Christmas. Ah, Cleveland Clinic would be great. The Candlestick Park. That's what we call it, the stick. Yeah, they did beat up on the Saints in New Orleans, didn't they? Or no, was that in Seattle? I can't remember now. I watched it. I have Web 2294. I think what I'm going to probably do is at the beginning of Twit, I'll just explain what happens so people understand, and we'll move on. I don't want to really belabor it. Yeah, Lisa's at the game. It was in Washington. Okay, well, kind of hard to win in the Superdome. Or, I mean, in Seattle, whatever they call that dome. OLED's fantastic for football. Fantastic. I did make it through Dune, and is John listening? I got to the end, and at the end, it ends so abruptly that I thought, there's some fun stuff. It's interesting in bits. So I'm not paying attention, but who has to lose so that the Niners, if the Niners win, they can go to the wild card? I don't even have to look that up. Can you have a hot? What's a hot? What are you talking about? Oh, fabulous Twit guests today. Oh, that's good. 4chan's fake X. If you get Xbox One instructions from 4chan, you deserve to be bricked. Although I'm surprised that you can do anything. Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd like to do it, effing done. I'm surprised you can do anything to brick the Xbox, like from the interface, but... I am not a clan yet, Zunli, but I will start a clan as soon... I'm close. This reminds me. Thank you for reminding me. I haven't checked my clan in a while. This is a really fun game, very addictive. So I got my little... well, I'm getting close. I need to have... I need 40,000 gold. I have 33 to build my clan castle. So I'm getting close. It's my little tiny settlement. Oh, I'm showing you my bombs. That's not good. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk about computers, yeah. The internet, oh, sure. Smartphones, home theater, and all that jazz. 8888 Ask Leo. That's the number, 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. Do you play, Heather, any smartphone or casual games of any kind? Do you play Candy Crush Saga or...
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
Even on that sleek new iPhone you got there, huh?
Oh, am I wasting it?
Yeah. You don't play Angry Birds?
No, you know,
What's
when I
wrong
have
with
time,
you?
I like to do things like take an Instagram picture.
Oh, that's good. So you're more like the creative type.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's not enough time in the world to, yeah. Anyway.
You haven't played Words with Friends? That's Scrabble online? No. Have you played Simpsons Tapped Out? That was what I was playing for a while. Farmville, We Rule. I like those kinds of games. They're they're not good. They're unwholesome.
Right.
Because
we all know about
you get
you
sucked
and your
into them.
addiction.
Yeah, it's an addiction. You gave me a giant donut in honor of my Simpsons Tapped Out addiction. My new one is called Clash of Clans. And it's kind of like the same thing. All of these, Farmville, We Rule, Simpsons Tapped Out, there's a lot of games like this where you have a kingdom, a little fiefdom. In the case of The Simpsons, it's Springfield, you know, the fictional town where the Simpsons live. And you build stuff, you know. And all of these games have one thing in common, that they're usually free, but in order to really build a nice town, you got to use money, real money, and buy some currency, whether it's elf leaves or sparkle sugar or, in the Simpsons case, donuts. In the case of this Clash of Clans, gems. And my test for these games, I mean, these all make a ton of money. Electronic Arts has told us that The Simpsons Tapped Out, which is available on Android and on iOS, makes more or as much money, maybe in some cases more money, than a console game which sells for $60. This is a free game. They made $13 million in 1 month a few months ago. That's the last time I saw on this. They took more than $100. I am so embarrassed to admit how much I've spent on this. $300. I'll admit it. It's the most expensive game ever that I've ever played. And then it crashed on me, and I couldn't play it ever again, which really made me crazy. But it's fun. They're soothing. You know, they're fun to play.
I'm going to stick with my addiction.
Yeah,
champagne.
do Instagram and champagne. That's now you're talking. What the game industry has learned, at least in the casual gaming market, and that's all of the smartphone and tablet games, is that freemium is the way to go. That is free to play, but if you want to play better or get more, you pay $1 or $2 or $3. The thing about games on the mobile is you can't charge too much. Most you could charge maybe $6, $7. You can't charge $60 for a game on mobile. So, but if you give it away, lots of people download it, and a certain percentage, usually no more than, say, 10 or 15% of the players, but a certain percentage of the players will buy stuff, buy virtual goods. And the thing about that is they don't just buy it once. They keep buying it. And instead of getting $6 or $7, you probably will get, in the long run, hundreds of dollars from these, 10, 15% of the players. So it works out better, frankly, for these companies. They make a lot more money. It is kind of the way to go. But I do feel like it's a little abusive. I mean, I guess we're adults. We know what we're getting into. You got to be careful with kids. In fact, if you install these games on your iPad or your iPhone, make sure you turn off in-app purchases so that they can't buy stuff. And don't give your kids your password to your wallet on Android, because if they can buy it, they will. Kids don't know. They go, oh, I need a bluefish. I'm going to buy a bluefish for my tank. And you can literally be out thousands of dollars with a kid that doesn't know or pretends not to know. Sometimes I wonder. So I just warn you. On the other hand, we're adults. We understand. And, look, if you go to the Vegas or Atlantic City and you gamble at the tables, you might spend hundreds of dollars in a night and say, hey, I knew, it was for fun. I had fun. It was a game, and I knew what I was doing. I could stop any time. I can. 8888. Ask Leo. That's the number. So, Mike in Winnetka. He installed a new BIOS on his laptop. Now, why did you do that, just out of curiosity?
Because I thought it would make it, it was an old laptop. Somebody gave it to me. I was refreshing it. Everything was working great. I said, hey, why not
to be honest, I always do that. If there's a new BIOS, I do it because I figure what could. But if something goes wrong, you no longer have a laptop; you have a doorstop.
Exactly. This is what I got. I can't even reinstall Windows.
So here's my question: Did something go wrong during the install?
To be honest with you, when I went to the website, this is the version that HP recommended.
Normally, a BIOS will not, and HP is going to be very careful. Will not the wrong BIOS will not install. It will say, I'm sorry, you got the wrong file. This isn't going to work. So
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's not that you got the wrong file. Something can happen. During the install, and this is why there are a lot of warnings when you install a BIOS update. And probably the correct rule is only do it if you have a bug you need to fix.
That's what I'm figuring out.
Well, but I always do it. But here's what can happen. You're writing to the firmware. If the power goes out or there's a glitch in the writing, you can have a non-booting machine, and it can be very difficult, if not impossible, to fix it. So, but let me understand this. It sounds like you get to Windows. Is that right?
I was getting to Windows, but I took the thing to my computer expert, and then they finished breaking it for me.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah,
so you were booting, and then somebody took it, and now you can't even get into Windows.
Right. They said, oh, I can reset BIOS, no problem. I put...
oh, he talked like that? That's really bad. You took it to Boris Badenoff. I'm not surprised you have a problem now. There is it depending on the HP, and I'm going to put a link in the show notes if you have a computer at all that you can use. There is a in the HP's customer support documents, a document, thanks to the chat room for this, called Restoring the BIOS. Now, they say if you get an error, application error 501, or you simply stop at a black screen or a beep, it is possible to recover an earlier version of the BIOS by holding down you might try this, the Windows key and the B key. Turn off the computer.
Windows key.
Hold down Windows and B as in boy.
Okay.
And then press the power button on the notebook for 1 second. Then release all 3 buttons, power, Windows, and B keys.
Okay.
Now, it then says the power LED remains on. The screen remains blank for 40 seconds before anything appears. You might hear beeping sounds. Eventually, you'll see the HP BIOS update screen display, and a BIOS recovery will begin. But there is more to this, and I would read the page. It's at hp.com. You can search for Restoring the BIOS, or you can go to our show notes at techguylabs.com. And let's hope that works. Let's hope that works. I'm sorry that happened. I guess as a responsible tech guy, I should say, do not update your BIOS unless you have a known problem and you've called your company and they say, yeah, you need to update the BIOS. And then be very, very careful, especially with a laptop, because you can be off power and, your power could die. There's all sorts of things. It's probably not a great idea to upgrade the BIOS. On the other hand, I'm one of those guys that if there's an update, I want it. This is a bad habit, but if there's an update to anything, I install it immediately. Always, not a good idea. As a responsible tech guy, I should say, slow down. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Do what I say, not what I do. I just install everything. Update. Yeah. That's just like Christmas. It's like a new thing. I want a new thing. It's an update. Yeah. Dig it, man. It's an update. Hey, you want Christmas? I got you Christmas. I got you Christmas. Have you been to the post office lately? We call it amateur hour. It's when all the people who have things to mail once a year go in with their arms laden. And if you have to mail stuff for your business, if you've got to get those invoices, those brochures, those presentations out, if you sell stuff on Etsy or eBay and your customer is saying, I need this by Christmas, you don't have time to stand there while the other folks are fumphering around. You need Stamps.com. Everything you can do at the post office, my friends, everything you can do at the post office, you can do at Stamps.com. That includes, of course, buying and printing U.S. postage right from your computer and your printer, filling out all the forms for express, priority express, overseas, international mailing. All of that stuff's done automatically. It makes you a fulfillment center. If you're sending a package, you plop the package on the USB scale. I'll tell you how you can get that. It prints out the label with your return address, your company logo, whatever you need. You slap it on the package. If it's an international mailing, it actually fills out the forms for you. If you sell on Etsy, eBay, Amazon, PayPal, site like that, it'll take the mailing address from the website automatically. You don't have to retype it. Puts your return address. It prints right on envelopes if you're sending out mailers or brochures or invoices. And you know what I love? There's a button right on Stamps.com. The mail carrier comes to your house every Monday through Saturday anyway, or your place of business anyway. But if you missed the pickup, there's a button right on Stamps.com. You press it, the mail carrier comes back. Picks up the stuff. You can be a little post office right there on your desk. I want you to try Stamps.com. Visit Stamps.com right now. Click the radio microphone in the upper right-hand corner, and we got a little holiday gift for you. A bonus offer worth $110, including $55 in postage coupons you can use over the first few months of your account. That's a lot of free postage. You also get the digital scale. Just pay shipping and handling. I think it's $5 for that. $5 supply kit to make it up to you, and a 4-week trial. Stamps.com. Use our offer. Oh, I didn't tell you what the offer code is. Tech Guy. One word. TECH. Go to Stamps.com. Click the microphone. Offer code TECH. GUY. All one word. And you get that very special $110 bonus offer. Stamps.com. So in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, it's go time for the Niners. Looks pretty cold in Green Bay, too. Oh, I'm sorry. That's Baltimore. Balmer. Wow. Looks cold in Baltimore, too. Wow. Wow. Oh, ow. Ooh, whoa, ow. Ooh. I don't like the Ravens. I like Baltimore, but I don't like the Ravens. Because they beat us in January. I'm still stinging from that. Mr. Hodgman. I want Mr. Hodgman on, but we're not going to do our holiday special. Well, I think what we're going to try to do is get him on New Year's. For our, we know what I'm doing on New Year's Day. Or New Year's Eve, I should say. 24 hours of New Year's. I went in and got fitted for my tux yesterday. We're gonna do 24 hours, 4 a.m. New Year's Eve to 4 a.m. New Year's Day. Going back to the phones. Mike is in Rock Valley, Iowa. Hey, Rock. Hey, Mike.
Hi, Leo. How you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
Good. I had a question. My wife and I, we live in a very rural, small-town area that doesn't have normal AT&T, Cox Communications, different types of services we could get.
Yeah.
And we ended up going with Dish Network for satellite internet, and I'm having a lot of problems with it.
Yeah.
It's really slow, and my wife, she needs to use the internet for her job, and she can never seem to get the download speed she needs, or it's very unstable in my experience. I'm wondering if you have any recommendations for internet connection, high speed.
We live in a, this is, to me, it reminds me a little bit, not that I was alive at the time, but of the rural electrification projects of the Great Depression. When general widespread electricity became available, these private companies were putting in electricity didn't really want to do it in rural areas. You can't blame them because there's so few people. It's hard to make your money back. You have to string all those wires. So the federal government created a rural electrification project, Tennessee Valley Authority, and lots of big projects to make sure that every person in the United States, however rural, had access to electricity. I think we're in a very similar situation today. The internet companies, Comcast, the cable companies, your phone company, you're too far from the central office. It's just not in their interest to do the hardware upgrade they'd need to do to give you internet access. So you're stuck.
Yep.
I mean, you live in a beautiful area. That's the upside of it. So what do you do? You've got to get your internet through the air. Nobody's going to run a cable out to you. So satellite's the first thing you think of. And, satellite has gotten better. Is the service you're getting from Dish, is that Wild Blue or is it something else?
It may be. It's a router and a modem. It came as part of the bundle with our TV. So I'm not sure.
So you might inquire because there are different levels of satellite internet, and it might be possible to get better service. The challenge with satellite internet is the distance from you to the satellite. So there's two things that result from that. The biggest one is latency. So it takes a while for a signal to go from you to the satellite, and then from the satellite to the website, and from the website to the satellite, and the satellite back to you. There's travel time. And that can add a lot of latency. That means gaming is impossible, but even things like Skype are very difficult to do well. On the other hand, getting your email, is not going to be a problem because you don't need to have that be instantaneous back and forth. But the second problem comes in there, and that's that many satellite providers have fair use restrictions. They have limited bandwidth, basically. And so they throttle you, they slow you down. They don't want any individual to take over all of their limited bandwidth. So the data caps can kill you, and the throttling can kill you. There are settings that you can do on your system. You can try playing with MTU. That can improve satellite internet, but ultimately you're at the mercy of what they have available. In general, if you have to use satellite, I recommend Wild Blue. They have a variety of service levels, and it's from Exceed is the name of the company, and I find that they do a pretty good job of giving you satellite internet's never going to be like hardwired internet, but it is better. It can be better than perhaps what you're getting from Dish. I would look at Exceed, EXEDE. It's from wildblue.com. I know this is the other downside of satellite internet. You invest a lot in the equipment, so I know you've already paid a lot to Dish.
Yeah.
But
what about mobile hotspots? Are those even an option?
So that's the other, right. It's anything wireless. So what would another choice be? Well, if your cell carrier provides decent 4G networking out where you are, and they might, that often is better than satellite. You don't have the latency problems. You do have bandwidth caps, but speeds are often much faster. So you should check.
4G, but
Say again?
I was at my house. We get 4G Verizon. Like it's lightning fast.
Oh, then you got it. Then you got it made, dude. There are going to be limitations to the amount of data you can get, but go to Verizon and say you want a MiFi or something like it. The MiFi is a credit card-sized mobile hotspot. Verizon sells them. It's a little more expensive, not more expensive than satellite probably. I think it's $60 a month. You can get a variety of different solutions, but what it is a mobile wireless access point. So that you can then use, I think Verizon calls it Jetpack, but you can then use it as a mobile access spot. You'll put it where you get good 4G coverage, and your only limitation is the amount of data you can get. Usually 5 gigabytes a month is the typical limit, but you can get more. Since she uses it for business, it's worth getting, what you need.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I would look at 3G. There are other choices that are commonly used in rural areas, like microwave, MMDS, I think. There are other, but you have to have a provider who offers it, and it just depends, on your location. If you go to broadbandreports.com, they have a internet finder that will often tell you some surprising choices for where you are. There may be more than you think. And I'll also put a link in there to Verizon's wireless home services, because they have other access points as well that are, base stations and so forth that you can use with their service. So we'll put a link to that in the show notes. Hey, thanks for the call. And, you pay the price for living in a beautiful place. What can I say?
Exactly. Love the show.
Thanks.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks for listening. Hey, at least radio works everywhere. Thank goodness for that. Yeah, well, we moved kind of the countryside a little bit last month, and you better believe before we even look at a house, my first question is, well, what kind of internet does it have? If it doesn't have high-speed internet, sometimes we get cable service out there, and sometimes I, in fact, get better service than I was getting in town because fewer people are using the same internet out in the country. So sometimes you can actually get better internet service if you can get the cable company to come out there. 8888 Ask Leo's the number. The website, techguylabs.com. You hear me mention that. The website will have links to anything I've mentioned. Thanks to James DeRuvo. He's writing right now as we speak. And then later on, Josh Windish up here in our office will put audio there, video there. He'll break it all up so that you can go question by question. There's a search engine there, everything you need. If you've got a question or you heard something on the air and you want to, either you want to look up the answer or you want to correct it. You say, hey, what about, has he tried? Maybe there's something else. Just go to the website, techguylabs.com. This is episode 1038, episode 1038. Beef in our chat room says, life isn't worth living without high-speed internet. I kind of know how you feel. I got to admit, once you get used to having always-on connection, when the internet goes down, it's like, I'm getting the shakes. I can't handle it. I can't take it. 8888 Ask Leo. More of your calls coming up right after this. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Niners! Niners! All right, you're just going to have to forgive me while I watch TV for a little bit here. Hit him, hit him. Oi, oi. Oi, oi. So Lisa said she's going to be hoarse for the next 3 days because we have to, at the Niners home, we have to make it as loud as it is at the Seahawks home. The 12th man and all. I'm lost without my Fios, says Dr. Mom. I think I lost my, speaking of lost, I think I lost my contact lens. I have to put my glasses on. Hit him! Hit him! Hit him! Hit him! Sack him! Yeah. Oh, he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball. Hey, he dropped the ball. Hey, 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 he dropped the ball. Did you see that? He dropped the ball. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right, repeat it again and I'll tell him.
Nice job, Bowman. He should have dropped it. He held on to it for too long.
This guy loves Exceed satellite service.
Oh, yeah.
12 megabits down.
Oh, yeah. Exceed's great. Still has latency issues.
3 up.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
latency issues?
Well, there's always latency issues on satellite, but no, Exceed's very good. You know who likes it is...
Oh, they offer tiered service depending on how much you want to buy.
Exactly.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, we know that. Bob Heil uses that when we hear from him at the Ham Fest. All right,
oh,
forced
what's
to
that
punt.
you say? I'm
3
a
and
great
out.
addition to the show?
Oh, he hung up. He already hung up. You can't fool me. What's that you say? I should get a raise? Oh, let me make a note of that.
Sorry. Thanks, Steve.
That's nice. You are a great addition to the show. No one,
Right back.
no one denies that.
Can you pot up Skype Johnny Jet? He doesn't. It might be audio only. So.
Let's hear Johnny Jet. Hey, Johnny. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Johnny. Is he on Skype 1? Hello, Johnny.
Hello. Can you hear?
Oh, it's going in and out. It's not good. Are you in Munich?
It's Passau, Germany.
Ah. Yeah, this isn't going to work, John. You know, you could make a phone call. They say you look like Sally Jesse. Are those your glasses? No. Oh, these are your... Oh, we should do the... we should help you... Yeah, I don't think it's going to work.
Yeah, so he's going to give me his phone number.
Yeah, we'll call him. We're working on it, Johnny J. No. Exceed is amazing. Now, it may be... actually, that might be, yeah. Yeah, she's muted. That's not me, that's her. She gets to choose. I'm going to start getting texts from Lisa any minute now. Excited, angry, upset, happy.
Do we start at 1?
With
I mean,
what?
2?
Start what at 2?
The game.
No, it's on. Started at 1:30. It's on.
Oh.
It's on right now. It's on.
So what do you think?
It's on like Donkey Kong.
3?
Okay, we got to do this. Now, let me show your... Let's see. So...
Should I take off?
Yeah, take off the headphones. Okay. So Heather's doing Warby Parker, and they send out, I think, 5 frames, and she's trying to choose which one. So I'm going to write down the votes. Actually, wait a minute. Let's do a straw poll. Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Oh, great idea. I'm working backwards now, so this is 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think these
are you there,
perfect,
Johnny?
though, so weigh that in.
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
All right, let's do it. Here we go. You hear that song, Big Old Jet Airliner? That means Johnny Jet is on the line from somewhere in the world. I've been following you on Facebook and Twitter, trying to figure out, and I love it because Johnny will post a picture saying, okay, where am I now? And I rarely can tell. I recognized German on the last one.
Yeah, well, I've been in 4 countries in 4 days,
Wow.
and so I don't even know where I am. But I'm actually in Passau, Germany.
Passau.
I just boarded a Viking River cruise ship.
Oh, I'm so
And
jealous.
I'm going for a Christmas market tour.
You're going down the Rhone? What river are you on?
I'm going down the Danube. So I'm going
Danube.
to Austria in a couple days, Slovakia, Hungary.
Oh, so jealous.
And
What were
I was wishing my video was working, but my video is not working.
No, that's
'cause I
all
bumped
right.
some-
That's
some in
okay.
the
You
tree.
know, yeah. You know, that's another problem on boats. The internet's not great either because, well,
No,
I don't know about river cruises, but On the ocean cruises, they have to use satellite internet, and it's very hard to get decent internet out on a
And
boat.
this is satellite, and we're actually docked right now, and I forgot my MiFi, so I'm kicking myself.
It's all right. You sound fine. So tell me,
this is my cell phone.
What were the 4 countries?
Well, I was in the United States. I was in Canada. I went to pick my wife up. Then we went to England for the night. Went to London last night. Spent a really nice night there. Saw Mamma Mia, and now just flew into Germany, which is only an hour and a half flight from London to Munich, and then took an hour and a half bus.
Wow, I'm so jealous.
And now I'm here.
You get to have a good time.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to share with us? These. By the way, who's river cruise are you on? Did you say Viking?
Yeah, I'm on Viking.
You like those?
You know, it's the first time I've ever been on Viking. Actually, my first river cruise was this past summer on Scenic, and that was amazing. And this Viking one seems pretty nice so far. I mean, I can't complain. The food was good, and
I'm dying to go on a riverboat cruise. I've always wanted to do that.
I think you're going to have to check it out. But I thought, because I was in London yesterday and I just landed right before they had all these problems with the FAA, or not their FAA,
their computers,
their control tower.
Yeah,
yeah, they had 480 flights, I think, canceled. And I just got in, and I have a story. I have a post on my website about what to do with weather delays and flight cancellations. And I know there's bad weather now in Philadelphia. So we can talk about some of the things you can do.
So, yes.
Online.
Yeah. So let's say you arrive at the airport, and or maybe you're flying in a holding pattern. This happened to us. Our flight left late. We're slowed down, and we're just looking at the clock because we have a connection to make. What do you do?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, if you're up in the air, hopefully you have some internet.
You don't yell at the flight attendant.
Don't ever yell at the flight attendant, because it's going to get you nowhere. Don't yell at the gate agents. Don't do any of that. Don't yell at anyone. Period.
No, ever.
But especially those guys.
Yeah, they hold your your travel in your hands.
Yeah, well, you need to be prepared in advance. So best, by the way, if you had a travel agent, that way they're looking out for you when you're on like a long flight and you don't have internet. So they can do it for you. So a good travel agent should be monitoring all that stuff. But if you don't have a travel agent, there's a few things you should do. One is you should be prepared. You should load your phone up with a backup plan, all the airlines' phone numbers. You want to tweet them right when you land. Some of them are really good about tweeting, by the way. Like American, Delta does a good job. I just flew WestJet this week. They do a really good job,
This is the new secret to customer service, is to tweet. No. Why they pay more attention to tweets? They
don't always respond, but it's some of them are good. So what I do 3 things. Right when I land, I run to the customer service line or to an empty agent. I get on the phone with the agency, with the airline, and I also have on my iPad or my phone, my other phone, I will be tweeting. So I'm doing 3 things at once, trying to make sure that I'm going to, time is the essence. You want to be the first person in line so you can get these next available seats, because these things are going to go. These days planes are flying full, so there's not a lot of free capacity. So the trick is to act fast. Do not stand around and sit there and go, what am I going to do? Always have a backup plan. And if you are, like I had friends who are coming here to this ship, and they got canceled last night on Air Canada. And I don't even think they got put up in a hotel. So hopefully, and I haven't spoken to them, I just saw some of their tweets. Hopefully, they had a backup plan where, either get on and make a hotel reservation right away or get in line. But if you're in the back of the line and waiting for the airline to get you a hotel, it's not going to happen. You're going to be sleeping in the airport.
Oh, that's terrible.
But you want to get on the next flight, so always carry all the airlines' phone numbers. You want to sign up for all the flight notifications. So even before you go to the airport, by the way, you can know. Like this morning, I wasn't sure if my flight to Germany was going to go because 3 of them got canceled yesterday. So I just kept monitoring it, and I'd also sign up for their flight notifications so I would know.
These days, travel is a competitive sport. You need to be prepared. You need to have the right mindset. You need to be ready to launch into action because it's you or the other guy. You're going to get that seat, or the other guy's going to get that seat.
For sure. And I don't think I ever mentioned a website and an app called Flightcaster. Have I?
No, tell me about that.
Flightcaster.com. So it's all good.
Uh-oh, did we lose him? I think we lost him. His boat must have sailed. Flightcaster has, this is a good idea.
We did see this, yeah.
Flight delay prediction.
Oh.
Because they keep track of the flight delays on any airline in flight, and you could see you can get a sample prediction to see how likely it is that your flight will be delayed and by how much, what the factors are. You can get it at the App Store. This is really cool, Johnny. It's flightcaster.com. It's not free, though, it looks like. Or
no,
is
it is free. Flightcasterfree.com. But it's only good for domestic flights.
Got it.
And you got to do it 6 hours before your flight. It'll let you know what the chances of your flight being on time or not.
That's so cool. And you can get the app as well as use the website. There's BlackBerry and iPhone. Cool. Well, Johnny,
and the last thing you can
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No,
please.
No. I wanted to ask you what your last thing was.
Okay. So if you don't have a travel agent, there's a guy called crankyconcierge.com. And he's a travel writer and a friend of mine, but he's been written up in Travel and Leisure or Condé Nast Traveler. He's one of their top travel agents. So what he will do, or his service will do, is let's say there is a volcano, or you're disrupted and you don't want to be on hold for 5 hours. You can hire them to do it. I think it's $150, but they'll do everything.
Oh, it's Brett Snyder. Sure, the Cranky Flyer.
Yeah.
What a great idea. So it's interesting advice. In this day and age, you'd think that travel agents were obsolete. They're not. If in a case like this, they're a lifesaver if you have a good one. So find a good travel agent. Do you have any recommendation for how to find a good travel agent?
Well, you want to first. They're like barbers. They're all. It's personal. So
right.
you want to ask your friends who they like. Just because I like one, right. I use Cranky. I use a guy named John Decker for international, especially business and first class premium stuff. Although I rarely ever buy one of those tickets, but they get big discounts. But and I would go to a specialist. So if I'm going on a safari, I actually have one I use. I have them on my website. These guys that I use. And or whatever I'm doing. If you're a cruise, you want to find a cruise specialist. Or if you're going to go to China, go down to Chinatown and find a travel agency in Chinatown because they'll give you the best discounts because they're sending so many people.
Yeah. You know where I go? JohnnyJet.com. I follow him on Twitter, and I go to his website regularly, and I bet we're going to see some beautiful pictures sailing down the Danube. He also has an Instagram account. That's Johnny Jet, at Johnny Jet on Twitter, Johnny Jet on Instagram. I follow you on Instagram. It's a great place to see pictures. In fact, I've been following you the last few days where you post a picture and you say, okay, where am I now? It's a lot of fun. Hey, Johnny, have a wonderful cruise. We'll talk again next week.
Thank you. I wish you were here.
No, you don't. You really, honestly, you don't. Go be with your wife, you knucklehead.
She's here.
Say hi to Natalie. Thank you, Johnny. I wish I were there too, believe me. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. More to come right after this. I wish you were here. Come on, Johnny. Lisa and I should go on a trip with Johnny sometime, and Natalie. That would be fun. I would love to do that sometime. That'd be great. Well, have a wonderful time. Yeah, I can hear you. Have a wonderful time, John. That's so great.
All right. Well, thanks.
All right. Take care, Johnny. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm so glad he could do that.
I got to tell him, Linda.
Even though that call probably cost us $1,000. No, I'm sure it didn't. I hope. TripIt Pro I use all the time, but will TripIt Pro rebook my flights and stuff like that? I don't know. I love traveling. I really do. No, I decided with 9145 to wear a jacket in honor of Tom Merritt. He inspires me. He always wears a jacket. And he always looks so sharp. And I realized, it doesn't matter what you got underneath. You just wear a jacket. You look trim. You look sharp. You look ready. So I thought, I'm going to wear a jacket. Dr. Mom, you're going to San Diego for a wedding, huh? How exciting. How exciting. I think it does look good. Tom always looks sharp, and I realize he just puts on a jacket. It's so smart. So brilliant. So brilliant. Wait a minute. Idotech, that was you? What? What? You should have said. I didn't know it was you. Always, if you're in studio with me, say your chat handle so I know it's you. Oh, that's Gary. I didn't know Gary. I didn't know you were I Do Tech.
Gary's I Do Tech.
I didn't know that. See, learning.
Wait a minute. I think I had a side.
I call it
conversation
Ido
with him.
Tech.
That's what I said.
He's
too.
the guy who gave me the cowbell.
Right.
Oh, I should have given this to Lisa to bring to the game. Oh yeah. She could have annoyed all the. All right, come on, Colin. 3rd and 3rd. Let's get that first down. Mr. K. Mr. K. He shovels it off. And a first down and more. Thank you.
What's the score?
Nothing in the first quarter. The game's only 5-6 minutes in. But there's a 1st and 10. Mr. Gore. Mr. Frank Gore, ladies and gentlemen. Running around the outside. Usually don't see Frank go around the outside. Usually he goes right up the middle there. He's a tough boy, tough man. He goes right up the middle there. Shovels it off to Gore, who goes around. First down. Nice pass. Oh, man, are they hitting hard. Those Seahawks hit hard. Whew. Gosh. They're a tough team. They scare me. I'm scared.
I saw so many people dressed up for the game this morning, just driving through San Francisco on my way here at, what, 9:30?
Yeah, you got to get there early. This is the big game of the year right now. I mean,
all red. Guys with red shoes, red pants, red shirts, red beanies.
I have my red outfit.
And I'm like, you don't think you look ridiculous?
Frank Gore does it again, down to the 31.
Kind of a Santa look on this one guy.
I'm a newly minted fan, so be gentle.
You wouldn't do head to toe red, would you?
No. But I do have the beautiful gold throwback Niners jacket that Lisa just gave me. I love it. We're going to Monday Night Football on the 23rd.
I'll be there.
Are you? Say that again. What do I have to do here? All right. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Last segment for the weekend. I can't believe it. Next weekend, we'll really focus on holiday gift guide. And, in fact, I've asked Chris Marquardt, our photographer, to do cameras, and we'll really help you with a geek in your life. And, of course, we'll take a lot of calls, too. Meanwhile, let's get back to the phones. We've got Cindy in Long Beach, California. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for hanging on. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi. Hi. I have a question. I just bought like a kind of an inexpensive computer. I was just going to use it just for like one application. Mm-hmm. And then what I found out was that the program itself, while I was on hold, I was looking to see what was taking up so much space. This computer only has like 450 gigs on the C drive, and it's been crashing for like 2 weeks. And it's only like a month old. So the program, between the program and the files that it uses, it takes like 300 gigs.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Well, let me ask, the most important thing is, what's your free space right now on your C drive?
Well, it's like, I just did a disk cleanup. Yeah. And it's like now I'm like at 18%. And I looked at the optimization, and it only says like only 2% is fragmented.
No, optimization's not very important anymore. That's kind of old school. Okay. But it is true that Windows doesn't do well when you get too low on free space. 18% on a 500 gig drive is plenty.
Yeah, but it's only going to be plenty for like another couple days.
All right. So you want to put what is this program you use? I'm curious.
It's called Wasatch.
And what does it do?
It's for printing.
Got it.
We have a sublimation business.
Got it. Okay, so you're a print service, and this program probably saves very large data files, I'm thinking.
Yes.
And you don't want to delete anything.
Well, this is what I think I'm going to do. I just went and bought like a little external drive
That's the way to do it.
So that I can put the actual data.
Exactly.
There.
That's exactly what you should do.
But I don't want this computer. Okay, I've decided that today.
I'm tired of this thing. Well, it shouldn't be crashing all that. It's only a month old.
Yes.
It should not be crashing. I agree.
I know. So what would be the best program software to be able to... This is my problem. That Wasatch, it takes a professional to come in and set it up to do the color profiles.
Ah.
And so I don't really want to have to go through that whole process again. I can't afford the downtime. So what could I use that would copy my programs and my files, like a mirror image?
Yeah.
And then
it's not going to work, and I'll tell you why.
Oh.
You can copy your data, no problem. Mirror image your data. But if you get a new computer, you don't want a mirror image of the operating system. It's different for the new computer. And you can confuse the heck out of the new computer by copying older system files onto the new computer. Similarly, in order for you to preserve the Wasatch install, you'd have to copy the registry, and you can't really just take a registry from one computer to another. It'll screw it up.
Okay.
So there are uninstaller programs that can bundle up a program and reinstall it, but I can't promise that that's going to work. Now, is the only part of the install that you need the professional for the calibration files?
Yeah.
And how does he do or she do the calibration? Do they use some hardware, or what do they do?
No, they come out and they spend like a day or two just doing color matching till it like...
So they're matching the screen on that computer to your die-sub printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a new computer will have a new screen, right? Or are you just going to replace the middle part?
Well, I don't know if I could say that it's the screen, but that probably does make
I'm sure it is, because you want to see on the screen the same thing you're going to get out of the printer so you can color correct.
Wow, you know what? That's interesting, because we just changed monitors like a couple days ago.
Well, you're not going to get good results because it's calibrated for the monitor.
It didn't even occur to me.
That's a big part of the calibration, I presume. I mean, I'm guessing, because are you doing color correction on the computer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking at the monitor. The whole point of the calibration is to get the printer to match the monitor. You just threw out his calibration anyway. So you might as well get him back, get a new computer, start over, because you're going to have, for best results. And the die-sub's expensive. You don't want to throw out a print because it looks purpley.
Well, no. And my biggest thing is I just didn't really want to have any downtime. I have
No, you want a reliable computer, and you want a bigger internal drive. External drive's a great idea for backup too. I bet you don't have any backup, do you?
No, not right now. It's like I do on my other.
You're hanging by a thread.
I know.
What if the hard drive dies, and they do? Do you call the client up and say, "Hey, can you send me all that material again because I lost it"?
No. I have all of my stuff on Carbonite.
Oh, I love you. Oh, lady, you're great. Oh, good. That's a relief. So you do have a good backup. I'm glad to hear that.
Well, that's for my business. I'm talking this.
Well, you should be carbonating or something those files as well.
So this is the thing. When you're talking like how big these files are, it'll take a week.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want to do it online. I understand, but you should get an external drive and just drag them over there.
Yeah.
You gotta have something. Unless it's no big deal. Just do the thought experiment. What would happen if the hard drive in here died? What would I have to do to keep going?
Oh no! I know it's crucial. It's like I tell all my clients.
I love you, Cindy. I think you deserve a nice computer that doesn't crash on you. This is your business. Don't cheap out on a business computer. Really, you got to spend a little money. Go out and get a nice, solid Dell. Don't get a $300 computer. Get one with a big internal hard drive, maybe 2 internal hard drives, and get an external hard drive. And then get the guy out and recalibrate, because you have to anyway. You just switched monitors. You just switch monitors. But because the computer's only a month old, you should be able to get your money back on it, or at least minus a restocking fee. A month old is new enough that you could say, it's not working. It's crashing all the time. I want a different one. I think we have time for one more. Lisa is in Bradenton, Florida. Hi, Lisa. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo.
Hey, Lisa.
How are you?
Happy holidays. I'm great. How are you?
I'm just wonderful. A little note on the Baltimore weather.
Yes.
My son just woke up. He's at school on the Eastern Shore. And he walked down the subway, and being the good Florida boy, even though he was born up in Williamsburg, he doesn't remember. And he's going, geez, Mom, is this what they call sleet?
Oh, sleet's the worst. Give me fluffy snow, but sleet, no.
He said it's bad up there, and I get this picture. And all it says is he goes, snow. Yeah. And I'm going, yes, get used to it.
My daughter went to school in Upper New York State, at California, born and bred. It did not go well.
No, they're not used to the ice and stuff.
They don't. Their blood is thin. But quickly, because I'm almost out of time, what can I do for you?
I need some buying advice.
Okay.
We have used Camtasia forever.
Yeah.
With PowerPoint.
Love it.
Articulate has the quiz maker. They also have the presenter, and they're bundling it. My question is, because we use Camtasia, do we need the presenter? Or do they do the same thing?
It does something different. If you're doing e-learning, it's probably a better choice. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Bingo.
Bingo. See you later. Bye-bye.
That was amazing.
Camtasia, you could do it. You can do it all by hand. But there are e-learning solutions. Articulate is one of them that will make it easier because it will give you a framework so you spend less time. Now, both are very expensive, so I would do the 30-day free trial, certainly. But, yeah, I mean, you're doing e-learning, and so it's better to have an e-learning solution. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. I'm Leo Laporte. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, the Tech Guy is just the tip of the iceberg. We do nearly 30 shows now on the Twit Netcast Network, and you'll find them all at twit.tv. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on Mac Break Weekly, iPad on iPad Today. You get your daily dose of tech news from Tech News Today, and our weekly roundtable show, This Week in Tech. It's all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next time with another great Tech Guy podcast. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.